Welcome back to Omaha. Kumar Rocker on the mound tonight, coming off that incredible no-hitter from the Super Regionals in Nashville. Rocker was a potential first-round draft pick out of high school, but after long discussions with his family, they decided the pros could wait, and it was important to go to college. And if the other night taught him anything, it was to slow down and enjoy the ride.
When you get here, all you think about is getting drafted. That's a player's aspirations for sure.
Kumar Rocker is dominating Duke. He did it! A no-hitter!
The phone definitely blew up. Matthews, Kemp, Price, all the big guys just reached out, and it was awesome. And when that happened, it slowed down and let me take a deep breath and realize, like, hey, I'm here for good. Like, I'm part of Vanderbilt now.
Rocker joked with me that there was one downfall to the other night, and that is the expectations of his mom. She didn't really know what a no-hitter was. The crowd had to tell her, and he said, now that I've set the bar that high, she's going to expect it every night. So if I give up one hit tonight, guys, I'm going to hear it from Mom.
Well, Mom is here. Dad, of course, a former NFL player. They have big expectations of their son. Tim Corbin has big expectations of Kumar Rocker and his entire team. He doesn't want just the focus to be on the guy on the mound. And there's a lot of guys, as we take a look at our Capital One batting order, Eduardo, that are worthy of attention for sure.
Yeah, and Austin Martin, one of the best hitters in college baseball, was the best hitter in the SEC. On base percentage, ridiculous, over 500. This kid can rake, and behind him, not a bad bat and fourth pick overall, J.J. Bleday.
Now you're looking at two top-of-the-order guys in Austin Martin on one side and Jake Mangum on the other, who are as good as there is in college baseball. For all the talk of Rocker, let's not overlook the guy that's going to be on the mound for Mississippi State.
This guy's had a pretty good year now. Payton Plumlee, and it's been getting better as the season has gone on. Plumlee pushed into the second role because JT Ginn missed a few turns. It's a pretty good sinker, and that's the one thing to watch today. When velocity is up for Plumlee, that sinker doesn't sink as much. And so what he needs, 88, 89, 90 miles an hour, good movement down towards the bottom of the zone. And over the course of the year for Plumlee, it's an indicator of stuff. He's given up just 61 hits in 81 innings.
You mentioned the name JT Ginn, who is not starting this game from Mississippi State. The Dodgers liked him enough to make him a top draft pick and offer him a couple $1 million, and he opted instead to come to Mississippi State. He's not pitching, so perhaps there's a little more to the injury than we're being led to believe, but perhaps we see JT Ginn at some point. It's on Plumlee's shoulders today, and again, both teams 1-0. Loser will take on Louisville, a winner today. Out of Jacksonville, Florida, Austin Martin gets things started. He had 2 home runs in a Super Regional against Duke. He had 2 home runs in the opener against Louisville. 4 homers his last 2 games. Looks at a 90-mile fastball in there for a strike. And of those 4 homers, both of those led off the game, 2 of them. Plumlee was suspended all of last year for a failed drug test. He considered leaving the school, going to an NAIA school, but instead he and his dad talked about it. He came back, and as Kyle said, he has been getting better and better. Only 3 runs in his last 12 2/3 inning pitched. On the ground in the hole. Westberg's got a great arm. Safe. Short hopped it. Good hustle down the line from Martin, and he is aboard.
And this is where Paul has to know the runner. Getting down the line. Martin gets down really well. Catches it instead of backhand. You get Westberg over there trying to get it from the front. He has to be able to attack that ball. Martin just too fast. Westberg laid back on it. Not with that kind of speed. There's no kind of arm that can get Martin.
Now J.J. Bleday, who was the number 4 pick for the Miami Marlins in this year's draft. Terrific hitter. Big time power with his 26 home runs. Sky-high pop-up. Shallow center field. Is anybody going to get to it? Nobody will. It goes off the glove of the shortstop. Westberg was looking for both Mangum and Jordan, who were playing deep. And it goes off the glove. They're going to give him a hit on that.
Yeah, you have to on this. Watch where they all start. Jake Mangum's playing deep in center. Rowdy Jordan's playing deep in left. And Westberg has a long way to go. You see a ball go that high, I don't care what ballpark it's in. When you're on the mound, you just assume that one's going to get caught. And this is a dangerous Vanderbilt offense when you go infield single, pop fly that lands for a single, because they're going to hit some barrels now. The first two have reached on two that off the bat look like they maybe would have been outs.
Could have been outs. Ethan Paul, the shortstop, the senior, he bats third. He's got more RBI on this team than anybody. 71.
That's a big difference. You go 5 pitches in, you could have already had 2 outs. Looked like Mangum did not get a good jump and read on that pop-up. Unlike him, because this kid right here, he can run him down in center field.
That's a good pitch on the corner at the knees.
Watch Mangum right here. He's yelling right here at Westberg, take it, take it, take it. The problem is when you hear anything from the outfielder, usually that means it's I got it, I got it, I got it. As an outfielder, you don't say anything until you do have it. If not, just lay out.
Two and one. So getting ahead is going to be important for the both pitchers, and obviously not giving extra outs. There's been no errors yet, but 2 balls put in play that could have conceivably been turned into outs.
Yeah, those are 2 that you circle in a scorebook.
Right. So will they have some runs for Rocker when he takes the mound? Paul's a senior. Good look from Mcnamee. Now you're living dangerously. 3 and 1.
He's thrown 5 changeups so far. 4 have been up and out of the zone. 1 he choked and ended up down and out of the zone. That is an important pitch for Plumlee, and the first 5 have not found the strike zone today.
First-year head coach Chris Lemonis. Took a good rip at it.
This is what you see from Plumlee today. The fastball a little over 60% of the time. Usually throw the slider more than the changeup. Here's the difference. Vanderbilt has 5 left-handers in his lineup. So you're going to see more changeups just because you want something soft that moves arm side. So down and away from the barrel of the left-handed hitter. Early on, though, Plumlee has not looked comfortable with that changeup.
Big pitch here in the first with 2 men on. Nobody out. On the ground is short. Could be 2. They flip to the second baseman on to first. That's a big, big double play from Mississippi State. Westberg and Foscue turn it. And now 2 down and a man on third.
Pitcher's best run right there. Get 2 runners on. All of a sudden on this pitch away. Watch the defense. Westberg right up the middle. 1 hopper, patented here, double play. No panic at all. Foscue, perfect throw over to Allen. Mississippi State, big 2 outs, runner at third. This is very similar to the start that Vanderbilt had against Duke in that first inning when Rocker threw that no-no. A long top half. So far, no runs to score.
So if you're on the mound, you're like, okay, that's kind of the way it was supposed to happen. So first 2 balls they don't hit very hard, they both go for hits. The one they hit right on the screws, we get 2 outside.
Philip Clark behind 0-1 after a 75-mile-an-hour slider. That one's in the dirt. A bunch of these guys experienced the super regional loss last year to Mississippi State. A handful of them used TD Ameritrade as their background on their cell phones to motivate them if that's what they needed to get through that loss and then head into 2019 with the goal of getting back here. The guy that's on the mound, of course, as a freshman, wasn't part of last year. One and two.
Great pitch. Down and away. Clark right now just asking how much of the plate did that have. He had it out. Now let's see if Plumlee now goes to that field pitch, the changeup. Down and away again. Try to get the chase.
Nope. Instead he goes with a breaking pitch, and it is good for strike three. 2 men on, no runs across. Kumar Rocker, big number 80, takes the mound in a 0-0 game. Quick snapshot of Chris Lemonis, who is making his 5th World Series appearance, the first as a head coach. He was with the Citadel as a player, 3 times an assistant with Louisville, and he became the winningest first-year coach in SEC history after he picked up his 45th victory this year. Our Capital One batting order: Mangum's at the top, and that guy is a hit machine, and then he's followed by a couple of guys, including Elijah Mcnamee, who've had clutch hits down the stretch.
Yeah, well, the hit machine has 380 career hits, 4th all-time in NCAA. He's the igniter. He gets going. As cliche as it sounds, this entire team and the fan base also gets going.
They're going to face a pretty good one now. 38th round pick as a high school senior. That's misleading, because if Kumar Rocker would have signed, he'd have gone in the 1st or 2nd round. 19 strikeouts against Duke in the Super. 18 of 19 were out of the strike zone. All were on sliders, and you can see 37 swing throughs in that game against Duke. One thing to watch early is just nerves, and it's not necessarily nerves, but excitement. Fastball location for Rocker. He needs that in the zone to set the slider up.
6'4", 255 pounds. Jake Mangum leads things off, the senior center fielder. Now one inside. You see high velocity from Kumar Rocker. Letha and Tracy Rocker are named Tracy, very familiar to sports fans. As a lineman in college, won the Outland and Lombardi trophies. That one's better, in there for a strike. And as a coach, when Kumar was born and then subsequently through his early years, they moved around. Typical of a coach. 7 different states Kumar Rocker spent time in. Said he took a little piece from every person he met in those states that helped him along this baseball path. Mangum, this one is a little blooper and a bleeder, and it drops in front of left fielder Stephen Scott. That's the first hit off Rocker in 2 games, and it's the first to lead things off here.
That was the big question. Who was going to get the first hit? You ask any Mississippi State fan, it's that guy that's on at the plate. 381 career hits now. Jake Mangum getting on base. Now Kumar Rocker is going to have to pitch from the stretch early on in this game.
And Mangum can fly. He's got 22 stolen bases on the season. So just like Vanderbilt, leadoff man aboard for Mississippi State for Jordan Westberg, the sophomore shortstop. Here's another blooper into right, but it's up. And it's J.J. Bleday there to make the play. That'll bring up the 3-hitter Tanner Allen, the sophomore. His 64 RBI leads this team. Reached base in 19 straight. He's got a 12-game hit streak. Surveys the field, sees they got a pretty good shift on, with Ethan Paul behind and to the second base side of second. Look out. Ouch. That's going to hurt. That came in at 92. Tanner Allen jogs down to first. 2 men on, 1 man down. This could be the nerves that Kyle was talking about.
Yeah, that's just a fastball he hung on to too long. You don't see right-handed pitchers miss with a fastball there very often. I think they were trying to go in. Held on to that ball a little bit too long. 92 miles an hour. Hopefully it caught a little bit of that shin guard for Tanner Allen. Little flare to left off the bat of Mangum. Hit Tanner Allen right there, and Elijah Mcnamee, who's got a lot of big hits from Mississippi State, comes up with 2 guys on here in the first.
Certainly make the case. He had the biggest hit in the new dude, the home field for Mississippi State, and that Super Regional on Sunday. And the senior right fielder's got a chance here to make some noise. Right field towards the line. Dropped against the wall. Blade had a chance. It's a foul ball.
No secret what Mississippi State is trying to do.
Yes.
Both Westberg and Mcnamee right here swinging at that first pitch. You have the wall coming right at you. J.J. Blade giving it his all.
It seems like the book early is we're going to see first pitch fastballs. If you get one, go get it. What they don't want to do, because that's what happened to Duke, is getting a 2-strike count, and that's when you see more of the slider.
8 of McNamee's last 9 hits have been for extra bases, and now he's behind 0-2. Senior out of Cypress, Texas. You see the numbers on the season. The Vanderbilt fans who remember him last year at Nashville in the Supers had a couple of home runs, 5 RBIs, and a walk-off homer in Game 1 of last year's Supers. It caused Vanderbilt not to come to the World Series. See if that slider that showed up 19 times in that no-hitter shows up here. There it is, and it was a take.
That location and that pitch is the one to watch the entire ballgame, because that's where 18 of the 19 strikeouts last weekend happened. Slider down and out of the zone. That time Mcnamee recognized it, held off of it. If you're Rocker and you're not getting swings on that, then you've got to change approach a little bit. It will be key the entire game for Mississippi State to lay off that one.
Not that time, and he made Mcnamee look pretty bad with a strikeout. His first of the game. Just elevated a little bit.
Yeah, and he doubled up too, which I like. I mean, that's the out pitch. That's the put away pitch for Rocker, and he goes right back to it. Maybe a little bit higher than the previous one, but still down and out of the zone by the time it got there. Mcnamee was fooled by the pitch itself because he was all the way out in front of that one.
Took a little bit more off it too.
Last week against Duke in that Super, all 19 came on breaking balls. For a guy that throws 95, a little different approach as Justin Foscue steps in. And that one's in there for a strike. It's pretty interesting what Scott Brown told us, 2 guys, in that meeting we had. He's the pitching coach of Vanderbilt, that Kumar Rocker and his catcher, Philip Clark, they call their own game. That Kumar Rocker shakes off more than any pitcher that he has ever had. But for a freshman, that tells you a lot about him and his confidence and his conviction in his pitches. This one hit pretty hard to center field. Dimarco goes back. He's there, and he makes the play. So they will strand 2 in the bottom of the first. Vanderbilt and Mississippi State 0-0 at the College World Series.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Progressive Insurance. Step up to the plate for savings. Visit Progressive.com.
Pair of 1-0 teams in Omaha, Nebraska. Side of the College World Series, downtown Omaha. Perfect day to get a little snow cone working. The winner today at this one will be 1 win away from the College World Series finals. And then the team that loses is going to win 3 in 3. Not easy, especially given pitching and all the challenges you face. So you win today, you're in a real good position. First pitch to start at the top of the second. Center fielder Pat Dimarco leads things off for Vanderbilt. Out of Staten Island, New York. He was the 17th round pick of the Yankees in this year's draft. The Yankees also drafted him out of high school. So the Yankees are into Pat Dimarco, and I think Pat Dimarco might be into the Yankees. As a Staten Island kid, the single A affiliate of the Yankees is on Staten Island.
I think he may be. I just don't think he will be this year. Draft eligible sophomore Dimarco, would be surprised if he signs. I would bet he's back for another year.
Say no to the Yankees twice. Interesting. Think they'll go again a third time?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or they'll trade for somebody named Encarnacion or whatever.
Good pitch. Really good execution to try to get Dimarco to just go a little bit outside the zone and induce soft contact. I mean, for all the love that Rocker is getting, Plumlee right there trying to paint on the outside corner.
2-2. Mangum a couple of steps back, now stops, settles under it, and the first out of the second inning. For Chris Lemonis, he said the Plumlee choice, he gives us the best chance to win this matchup, particularly because he's been good against lefties.
He's going to see plenty of them today. 5 of the 9 in Vandy's lineup, hit from the left side. Get a little bit more comfortable with that breaking ball there too. Struck out Clark in the first and gets Dimarco on the fly ball there.
Here's Stephen Scott, one of those lefties, the senior. Plays left field for Vanderbilt. Two-seamer misses away. Lemonis cited the game against Miami in the regionals, which was a heavy left-handed lineup, and Plumlee was terrific.
Got it.
Stephen Scott, one of 3 seniors in this Vanderbilt starting lineup, and talking to Tim Corbin the other day just about the way that he handles this team. It was interesting. He essentially said, I'm not doing a lot right now. It's their club. These guys have been around for a while. They've got a bunch of seniors that they trust that are in key roles. It's one thing to have a few seniors. Another thing to have a few seniors at big spots, and that's what they have. They got a senior shortstop in Paul, who's been great. A senior in Scott, who's hit double-digit home runs this year, as has Julian Infante out of the 9 spot.
2 strikes. Mississippi State goes into a big shift. They move third baseman Gilbert all the way across the diamond. The Vanderbilt outfielder was taken to the 10th round by the team he grew up rooting for. See a picture with his dad there at Fenway Park. And Stephen Scott does not have the option to come back to school, so he will begin his professional career once this season ends. Plays the same position that the current Red Sox left fielder does, Andrew Benintendi. They both have the SEC in common. Of course, Benintendi, an Arkansas star. Good look at the improvement Scott has had over the years. Got one in his wheelhouse and he fouled it back and out of play. It's an interesting personality too, Kyle, that you have with this Vanderbilt team. As Tim Corbin told us, they say they're having fun. You wouldn't necessarily know it, given some recent examples with Vanderbilt when the Dansby Swanson team were here with Walker Buehler. I mean, those guys were clowning around. This one is lifted deep to right field. Going back is Mcnamee at the wall. It's over the wall. Home run for Stephen Scott, and it gives Vanderbilt a 1-0 lead.
Gets 2 strikes. Stephen Scott does one thing. Chokes up on the bat. Trying to make contact. Trying to barrel the ball. This one goes to 375 feet. 94.6 off the bat. Goes down and gets it. Drafted in the 10th round. Red Sox fan. They're going to enjoy this right now. And he puts Vandy up 1-0.
13th of the season. He had just missed the fastball in the prior pitch. And now Harrison Ray with Vanderbilt on top. Looks at a fastball in there for a strike. Remember those teams, though, of Swanson, they would have their own press conferences. Like, they would create them. They would joke around, and obviously with a team with all that talent on it, it's a little bit different. That's the thing as a coach, you got to understand. All teams have different personalities.
And let them go, right. Whatever it is. I mean, if you've got those that do like to have the amount of fun that they did a few years ago, let them do that. If you've got one that's a little bit more introverted like they do now, let them do that. I mean, the problem is where you try to change it. That's where guys don't get comfortable. Clearly, Vanderbilt's pretty comfortable right now.
We're sandwiching one of the all-time great extroverts on the planet in Eduardo Perez.
He hasn't danced this year yet. I'm a little bit disappointed. I know it's early, but you danced off camera, and you should never do that again. We'll give Eddie the chance.
I would agree with that. But I was just being myself. I was just being authentic.
Which we need to encourage. I'm sorry.
It's early, guys. It's early.
Good pitch, and Ray strikes out, second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the game for Payton Plumlee.
That's that two-seam fastball from Plumlee, and it's that late action when you see guys swing over the top of it, just takes it right underneath the barrel of Ray right there. That's the one he's going to need. Is that two-seamer that goes down in the zone. Hadn't found the changeup yet. Breaking ball's been okay, but that one there, that two-seamer that has that good late sink, is one that Plumlee needs.
I like that comment that you just made. Hasn't found the changeup. He needs it, especially against lefties. Because if he had it early, that 3-2 pitch to Steven Scott,
right,
after fouling off a fastball, should have been a changeup if he had a feel for it.
Ty Duvall Jr., 5'10", 185, Lebanon, Ohio, has reached base 29 of his last 30. And this one to left field. This one's hit pretty well. Rowdy Jordan going back right at the track in the corner. He's there to make the play. But Vanderbilt has broken through. Steven Scott, 2 strikes. And he ripped one to right that carried over the wall 340 feet away. Commodores 1, Mississippi State nothing at the College World Series. For more coverage of the College World Series interactive brackets, go to ncaa.com. Early on, Vanderbilt with a 1-0 lead. Mississippi State's got Dustin Skelton, Rowdy Jordan, and the designated hitter today, Josh Hatcher, for Chris Lemonis to face Kumar Rocker. See the pitch he's gotten much more comfortable with now. Slider in there for strike 1. Olive Branch, Mississippi, 6 feet, 202. Think K-Zone would have had that a little different?
No, it was probably off. It's a spot you want to go, but it looked like it may have been a little off. It's just the one you want.
Pretty close to the same spot, and that one is there for a strike in 94.
Rav, you touched on it earlier. Scott Brown's a pitching coach at Vanderbilt and historically calls most of the pitches. And he said about halfway through the season, he looked at Kumar Rocker. He said, man, you shake me off more than anybody. And he said, well, I've got my mind. I know what I want to throw. When I get on there, I know what I want to throw. And they just weren't entirely in sync. That's when he turned it over to his catcher. That's when ultimately he said, all right, between you and Philip Clark, you guys call your own game. Clark will look over sometimes just to get maybe affirmation based on what's going on. But he's allowed them to really take it, call their own, and say it's worked out pretty well.
I would think, given the success that Brown's had and Corbin, think about the pitchers they've developed there. Buehler, Price, Gray, and others. To have somebody come in and say, I'm doing my own thing here, at least I would think that would cause you to pause for a second.
Maybe, but I mean, when you go punch out 19, throw no hitter,
sure.
You go, okay, maybe that works. I like the humility from a pitching coach to say, you know what, it's cool, let's go, like you roll. Because one of the biggest things when you're out there is rhythm. And if you're standing there shaking no all the time, you don't have any rhythm. When you have rhythm, you think different. When you shake yes and go, that's rhythm. That's when you can go and feel comfortable just with the pace that you're moving.
Talk about pace, we're seeing it right now. He goes
There's a rhythm there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Right back to it. And he already knows what he wants to throw. He's reading the swings. This kid grew up watching SEC baseball, the competition. In the last 9 starts he's had, he's been money.
There's a little rhythm right now, boys, because when it is just a shake yes and go, there's no thinking. That's the other thing. I mean, you stand up there because the feeling on the mound is you've already got a number in your mind. For Rocker, he knows what he's going to throw. And so if that's the first one that you see, now we're off and going. There's the slider, hands over the top of it. Philip Clark's going to be doing that a lot today because when Rocker's breaking ball is going, it will end up down in the dirt. But he has so much trust in Clark. Clark's earned it over the course of the year. Keeps it close, and it's the second strikeout of the day for Kumar.
Gotten ahead of 6 of the last 7. There's a ball one.
And keep in mind, the Mississippi State approach has to be you have to look up. We saw what happened with Jake Mangum. Base hit, pitch was up. Anything that he's going to throw nasty, the slider for a strike, has to start up to be a strike. Anything else is going to be a ball. So you have to change your eye level and adjust to what's on that mound, and it's K-Rock.
Just drop a K-Rock on it.
Yeah. Just count how many fastballs for strikes he throws down in the zone in the lower quadrant. There aren't many. He did not do it against a Duke team. So why would you want to look for something down?
Here's the other thing. When you get to 2 strikes, I mean, I wouldn't swing a whole lot. Because the reality is he'll steal strikes with a slider early. We've seen it. Early in the count, before he gets to 2 strikes, he's trying to throw that for a called strike. When he gets to 2 strikes, he's not trying to throw it for a called strike. He's trying to throw it down and out of the zone. And if you can lay off that one, then you force him to do some things he's not as comfortable with.
Josh Hatcher looking at a 2-2. Now full count 3-2 as Rocker slams his glove.
See what I'm saying right there? That fastball down ball. You have to let it go. He's not afraid to go 3-2 slider on you either.
Chases one 96, little two-seamer away. And you can see some of that competitiveness in Kumar Rocker. Back to the top of the order when we come back. Vanderbilt up 1-0.
I don't care what Austin tells you. He's not a power hitter.
Austin Martin gone. 1 swing, 1 run. That one is gone again. Austin Martin with a 2-run bomb. Once he get me started, I ain't never gonna stop. Well, we've seen a number of baseball players all of a sudden, especially recently, show a little more power than you've gotten accustomed to, especially at the major league level. Guys like Ketel Marte out in Arizona and others who are in that 20 home run range already. If Austin Martin's not a power hitter, he certainly has the ability to do it. He bats second after Julian Infante leads things off here in the 3rd. 9 then the top of the order. Poured in there for a strike to even it up 1-1. Steven Scott's home run, the only run on the scoreboard. If you look at Infante's numbers, and he can go deep, 12 homers out of Miami, Florida. He's got 8 hits in the tournament, and they've been extra base hits. 2 singles to go with those 8.
It's good to see the season Infante's had as a senior, because his first few years he was a threat. Last year he was lost, and he never was comfortable at the plate. Hit below 200. Made a comment to Tim Corbin and said that there was days I felt like I forgot how to play baseball.
There's another one in the hole. Going to be a real long, strong throw. Westberg got him. What a job by Jordan Westberg.
That's real right there, fellas. That's real. Backhand, he knows who's running. He does the jump throw, uses the turf perfectly, and gets Infante at first base. Showing range. Perfect bounce. Straight to Allen at first.
He's a freak athlete, and he's still learning how to play short. He's not made more errors than maybe you would like to see a shortstop make, but what he can make is the flash play. He can get to balls that nobody else can, and there is plenty of arm strength to finish it.
Here's Martin. It's a little more routine for Westberg. Throws a perfect strike over there. Look at how deep Westberg is on this. Go back to the one where he's 6 feet
throw
deep.
to first base. Come on, do more of this.
Yeah, this right here is athleticism, keeping that head down. Watch how he gets good leverage off that left foot. Perfect throw. You need the perfect recipe also, and Infante provides that with his speed. Nicely done.
J.J. Bleday. You go out on a baseball field, if you haven't in a long time, and you go stand where he threw that ball from, and you try to throw it to first base in the air. It's not an easy throw.
But you standing on your feet. I mean, let alone when you're in the middle of the air.
That is a long way.
During the Super Regionals, Duke played a 4-man outfield, and they played pretty much no doubles in the outfield. One step away from the warning track, and they played a complete shift, and they allowed J.J. Bleday, go ahead, if you want the bunt, take it. If you want the hit, no problem. But you're not beating us with the long ball.
Westberg was one of those who acknowledged last year we were kind of in awe of the whole thing, and a little more of a business-like approach for Westberg and those that were here last year. 3-1 now to Bleday. That's dangerous given his pop. 26 homers on the season.
You don't have to give in here. Longest homerless streak of the season, 8 games for Bleday.
Good pitch.
I'd throw it right there again if he gets the call. Why not?
Story on Bleday, Jeter, and Posada. Of course, the Marlins went to see him at the tournament in Hoover, Alabama. And the day they were there, he had 5 hits in 5 at-bats. Sold.
And all over the yard. I mean, one to right, one to left. Stay on a ball up the middle. Yes, if there was any doubt, that day cemented it for the Marlins. Bleday hit 6 home runs his first 2 years combined. Got 26 this year.
Pulled it inside. Ball 4 for Bleday. Hey, tonight on ESPN, another College World Series MLB doubleheader at 7 Eastern Time. Texas Tech and Florida State. The Mike Martin game looks to stay alive in this year's CWS. Back to L.A., 3rd game of the series between the Giants and the Dodgers. That is our Wednesday College World Series Major League Baseball doubleheader, 7 and 10 Eastern. ESPN, the ESPN app. Bleday said he really found that power stroke when he was on the Cape this past summer. That wooden bat league, a little more of a launch angle to it, and it led to all those homers. Now Paul. Grounded into that 6-4-3 double play in the first. When you're in a program like Vanderbilt, like Mississippi State, and you end up losing in a super regional like Vandy did last year, as Ethan said after, this is going to be a positive thing in the end for us. Now, when you know you're surrounded by guys that are of the caliber player that you have a real chance every year to get here, that makes sense. But you got to do something with that experience.
It's the best super regional I've ever seen.
Really?
I mean, over the course of 3 games, there was 2 walk-offs. Bleday had 1, McNamee had another. Both were home runs. In all 3 games, every game was tied in the 9th inning in all 3 games. I mean, it was as great an environment as you could possibly have. And State continued what really was an improbable run to Omaha. McNamee with a walk-off home run in game 1. Bleday answered back in game 2, and in game 3 goes extras, and State finally wins it.
There's McNamee. And a 1-2. Chases it. Paul retired. Good inning by Payton Plumlee. Leaves 1 on. Still 1-0.
I'd rather be there with y'all if you ask me. It feels like a party. It feels like a damn good time to me. A bunch of country girls and back row boys.
Omaha never disappoints. College World Series, just a terrific atmosphere as we welcome you back to it. The NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Kyle's got the drum beat going. Eduardo swaying a little bit. How do you not get in a good mood when you're here?
Low cash to bring it back. Come on now.
Budden apparently down there doing a little country jig. So we're in a good place. Marshall Gilbert steps in. Rocker struck out his last 2. And through 2, if you go back to the last time he gave up a run, he's got a 16 2/3 scoreless inning streak going. And you see how much movement is on that slider. 1-1.
It's just so impressive, though, how he understands how to use it. That one, steal a strike. Later on, steal a strike out, down and out of the zone.
Ooh, ooh. Why do you think we both said woof on that?
I said woof because we talked about it earlier about the fastball being down, and that's 31 pitches that I've seen. That's the one that looked electric. It was down in the zone, had a lot of zip on it.
Right back at you. He decides to throw it. Could have raced all the way to first, but instead he flips it to his teammate. So 1 down. Yeah, he gave up a single and then he hit Tanner Allen, and since then this has been awfully impressive.
What does that feel like?
What's that?
One hopper right back at the pitcher. Anything coming right back at you so close to the hitter.
It feels good when you glove it. I'll tell you, the one that doesn't feel good is when it goes right past your ears and it sounds like a bumblebee. Sounds like a bumblebee. That means it's really close to your head.
Mangum up the middle. Good hustle. He thought he was safe. Man, did he bust out of the gate. That's how you have as many hits as he had, but he is thrown out on a close play. Ethan Paul gets him.
Jake, what do you think? Jake, what do you think? No. Close.
Guys, the other night, Jake Mangum couldn't even watch the 9th inning against Auburn. He was pacing back and forth with his eyes closed, holding his cross. And I talked to him after the game. He said, Chris, I didn't have to look at the field. I knew we were going to win. That's just the kind of confidence that this team has, that no matter the score. And you see it through the dugout the entire time. Just before this, Elijah Mcnamee was going up to the guys saying, hey, let's smile, let's go. It's really a different kind of team to listen to in the dugout.
That one's a little off. I like Mangum, but there's a little contradiction there. If you knew you were going to win, you'd want to watch it, wouldn't you? Yeah, I mean, you would.
Sure. I'll tell you who watched it was Jake's mom. She's passing kidney stones, but that inning, she felt good.
She knew, too. This one's sky high, heading back behind the plate. It's going to get, look out, right into the tunnel area there where they were taking cover as well. Then it bounces into the seats for a souvenir.
That's a happy kid right there.
That's another tradition you got here at TD Ameritrade. I've noticed a bunch of gentlemen who will get the foul ball, then they will find a kid and they'll hand it off to a kid. Good on Omaha.
It should be a tradition everywhere.
I like that. That one is ripped over the head of the first baseman Infante and into the corner. Westberg, who's already made a web gem defensively, is at second with a double.
Tried to sneak a fastball by him, 2-1. Westberg quick. Look how tight he is with his elbow, right elbow to the body to get that bat head out there. Keep the ball fair. Talk about freak ability. That's one that you have, knowing Kumar's slider is always in effect even when he's ahead in counts.
One of 5 guys with over 20 doubles. These two teams are doubles machines. Vanderbilt has 8 guys with double-digit doubles. And now Tanner Allen with a chance to tie this one up and put his team ahead. First pitch way inside. He's like, wait a minute, you already hit me once. At the knees. I thought Philip Clark did a nice job there framing that one.
Chris Lemonis didn't agree with you.
Or he's confirming you. Maybe it was down, but he did a good job framing it. Watch him pop that glove up.
Yep.
Shift on again, so Allen's got a big hole there between third baseman, and he rolls one over. Paul is there, and that will do it. He can't drive in the run. Chris will be with Chris, Bud and Lemonis when we come back to the College World Series.
Welcome back to Omaha. Chris Budden with Chris Lemonis, the head coach of Mississippi State. First time you guys have seen Rocker this year. How do you start putting some hits together and put some runs on the board against him?
You know, the stuff is pretty good, and he throws that slider in any count. I think we've done a pretty good job. We had a couple of bats that got away from us, but we've had some pretty good ones too.
Payton Plumlee throughout this season has continuously gotten better. What has changed for him towards the end of the season?
I just think it's confidence. He struggled a little bit in the early season, but he's really pitched well with his fastball lately, sinking it, and you're seeing that today.
This is a team that can come from behind. What is it like to coach a team that never thinks they're going to lose?
I guess it's pretty lucky. It's one, you know, so they do have a great mindset, and they love to play the game, and they think they're the best team on the field every time they play, so they just keep playing to the last out.
Makes it easy on you. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. And Chris. Philip Clark leads things off here in the top of the fourth inning. 1-0 Vanderbilt over Mississippi State. Winner will improve to 2-0. Loser gets Louisville in their next game. It will be an elimination game. Squaring a bunt now on a slider that just misses. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPN 2.
I'll take one of those.
Past the dive of the first baseman Allen, so Clark is aboard. And the throw comes in hard from the right fielder Mcnamee, so he held to a single, but a leadoff single.
Double tap, stays on it, slider up in the zone. Clark just waiting on it. See how big his eyes got. Swing stayed level. Nicely done.
Here's Pat Dimarco. He flew out to center, the sophomore center fielder, his first time up. Pat's dad played 2 years at St. John's. Full foul.
Dimarco hunts the fastball, really likes it. Give me the ball.
Complete excitement. Complete. Day is good. We could probably check out if we had to now. Mississippi State, they really do believe that they deserve a College World Series title. I'm not sure anybody deserves it, but boy, they have knocked on the door a few times. They've had so many superstar players go through that program. It is clearly one of the best in the country. And they're knocking on the door one more time, and they'll continue to do that. The facility they have down there is second to none. The fan support is second to none. They got Lemonis in there, and he's built programs and been around winning programs. Like, formula and recipe for sustained success is absolutely in place.
There's not too many coaches that have been to this event with 3 different teams. Chris Lemonis did it as a player with the Citadel, 3 times as an assistant coach at Louisville. Now in year 1 takes Mississippi State back here as the head man.
That one is a fair ball by a couple of feet. Off the end of the bat, Dimarco heads to second, and Vanderbilt second and third. Nobody out here in the fourth.
Look, Plumlee executed this pitch down, but give a lot of credit right here to Dimarco. He goes down and gets it with his legs, hits it off the end of the bat. Now you have 2 runners in scoring position. In order to be lucky, you have to be good. Dimarco being good, he knows it. He'll take it.
They are having fun. There's no doubt about it. And now you got Steven Scott, another lefty up here, who homered his first time up to right field. Kumar Rocker on the mound, hasn't given up a run in 17 2/3. Any more runs would really put Mississippi State in a bind. Breaking ball in there for strike one.
Steven Scott's going to see a few more of those. As that at bat went on, he hit the ball out on a 3-2 pitch. It was fastball inner half that Scott spun on. The breaking ball seems to be the off-speed pitch that Plumlee is most comfortable with, and this is a spot in the game where you have to think strikeout on the mound. The minute you get ahead, you don't want this ball put in play with the middle infield all the way back. Change up there.
Now watch the adjustment. He did it last at bat with 2 strikes. He was already a little bit choked up. Now he'll choke up even more. I remember Red Shandy's Hall of Famer of St. Louis Cardinals asked me one time, how many home runs do you have? I said 3. He goes, all of them with 2 strikes? I said, yes. He said, what do you do different? I choke up. He goes, the best hitter in baseball at that time, Barry Bonds, choked up all the time.
Yeah, right away.
He goes, just do it from the get-go.
0-2 on the ground, and then we get a play at third, and a heads-up play by Marshall Gilbert.
Great play.
He caught Philip Clark, who took a few steps home, and that's a big play by Gilbert at third.
That's heads up now. And for Philip Clark, who does so many things right behind the plate, this one wasn't. It's that initial read where the secondary takes a few more steps far enough off, and great heads up by Marshall Gilbert right there. You keep the double play in order and get the lead man. What do you got?
Coach Corbin at third base tells him you're going on contact. So he's thinking immediately, I'm going on contact anywhere but third. Anywhere but third, because there's runners already at second. What happens as soon as that ball hits the dirt, he was going, got a little bit too antsy. Read it wrong, paid for it.
Harrison Ray. In the dirt, there was a huge double play in the first inning. Mississippi State turned. As Vanderbilt had first and second, nobody out. They get a big double play. Here they had first and second, nobody out. That's a big play you can circle right there. And we'll see how this inning unfolds. Ray has struggled with runners on and runners in scoring position, hitting just 186 this season. That one's in there for a strike. 13 for 70 with runners in scoring position. He has been clutch, though. You saw a big hit at Louisville, a 2-run double in the 8th. Had an RBI walk in the 9th inning. But that was May 7th. Called strike 2, terrific slider.
Watch Skelton move with his body right here behind the plate. He kind of steals one right here. It's one thing to reach for it. It's another thing if that top half goes with it, because then he catches it in the middle of his body. It looks a lot better to the home plate umpire. Early in the game, he reached for a few and didn't get. That time it's subtle, but it's enough movement he can catch it more in the middle of his body. If he goes and reaches for it and the top half doesn't move, I don't know if he gets that call.
Now Ray has to be aware of the pitch away. Plumlee's located well now with his fastball. Will he bust him in, or will he stay away and try to get a chase? He got away with one there. Too much to the heart of the plate.
Two and two now to the junior second baseman. Bottom of the order up for Vanderbilt with 2 men on. Spoiled the 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Ray has struggled with runners in scoring position so far this season.
Is that a mindset thing?
It's not only a mindset, you're seeing where the swing path is going, thinking more pull than the other way. The true RBI guys are the ones that stay up the middle. Have to be able to slow the heartbeat and know exactly what the pitchers are trying to accomplish with runners in scoring position.
Vanderbilt won the SEC championship game over Ole Miss. Ray had 3 doubles in that one. That misses. 3-2.
Plumlee's giving it his best. Trying to hit those corners, not missing by much.
Pat Dimarco's at second. Steven Scott's at first. And the 8th pitch of the at-bat is coming to Harrison Ray. Good pitch. Strikes him out. His 4th strikeout of the game.
It doesn't take a ton of sink, but watch where this ball ends up. It's outer half. Ray goes right over the top of it. Eddie was talking about swing path a minute ago, to where the swing path is more built for the pull. You could see it right here. And that's where you can get exposed. That 2-seam fastball away has just enough sink to get it underneath the barrel. Big strikeout right there for Plumlee.
The inning started with 2 men on, nobody out. There were still 2 men on, and there are now 2 outs for Ty Duvall, the designated hitter. Hit it pretty hard his first time up, flew out to Rowdy Jordan in left field. Mangum, the center fielder, shaded a little bit towards left. This one right back up the middle and placed perfectly was Westberg. He caught it on one hard hop. That's Michael Plumlee, who of course is the dad of Payton, and he likes what he sees as his son gets out of a jam.
Come on, baby.
Is melted. Here comes a big fella. Texas Tech once down 3-0. Survives.
We just bounced back, resilient team.
Most importantly, we're just having fun.
What a night for Flowers. And for Mike Martin will have another chance. They will take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
I don't want to go home.
7 o'clock Eastern time. Those Seminoles and Texas Tech elimination game here on ESPN. We're back in the bottom of the 4th of this one. Elijah Mcnamee, Justin Foscue, and Dustin Skelton down 1-0.
Power against power right here. 2-1 count.
Held up at 92. Mississippi State crowd starts to get into it. That one is tailing towards the seats, and a souvenir for the fans out there.
Coming into this game, 87 and 3rd innings pitch for Kumar, only 18 walks.
(3-2), and you can see he took something off that. 83 miles an hour.
That's having a lot of confidence right there. Going with the slider, you know you can throw for a strike. 3-2.
Another one on the way. That's high and inside. Mcnamee draws a leadoff walk.
First walk of the game right there for for Kumar Rocker. He has hit one. He's been so good today in part because of fastball command, and most of it has come on that glove side. So fastball away to the right, fastball away to the righty. You're going to see another one right here, and what it does is then set up this one. That makes the slider that much better, because if you're Mississippi State and the approach is sit fastball, that's great, but if he's painting out or half or outside black the entire time, it makes it tougher to go after. Now, though, you've got the leadoff man on. We'll see what State can do with it here in the fourth.
Foscue flew out to center field his first time up. He swings and misses at that. A couple of Mississippi State players decided we're going to shave the heads, and as a result, it has become kind of a good luck charm, at least in their minds, to rub those that were recently shaved. Rowdy Jordan, who has the longest hair on the team, did not participate and refuses to participate.
You can't. When you've got the hair that Rowdy has, there's no way.
We're not going to do that.
No, it just wouldn't be right.
And Rowdy is appreciative of it, thinks it's a great thing, but that's not going to happen there. Party in the back, and we're going to just keep partying. Westbrook came in hitting .400 in the NCAA tournament, and then he goes back to that SEC tournament, which just shows you the peaks and valleys that a hitter can have. Eddie can certainly speak to it, but he went 1 for 15 in the SEC tournament a few weeks ago, and he's way better than 1 for 15.
Yeah, you get in those kind of ruts, you can call them, and it's hard to get out of. But this is a different venue. Right now, anything, even with 0-2 count, if you're Mcnamee at first base, you have to be aware of the ball in the dirt.
0-2 to the guy Lamona says is just a pure hitter, and he lays off that slider. Foscue has started all of Mississippi State games. He's the only one other than Mangum and Allen that can say that. I mean, other than the SEC tournament, he didn't have a slump. Look out. Wow.
This one's scary just because you're dialed up for the slider. Dialed up for the slider. That nose has got to stay all the way in there. Right at the last minute, Foscue bails out of there. Now he will see the slider. You throw that pitch right there, it'll back him off the plate a little bit. Creates a little bit more room for the slider down and away. I'm going to stop doing that. I haven't got it right in the last 2 days.
I'm going to pick you up on this one. This reminds me so much growing up at my house, listening to my dad, Tony Perez, talk about Bob Gibson. All right, fastballs up and in all the time right there, and then he'll spin that nasty slider, but not afraid to come up and in.
Right.
And we saw him double up right there with a fastball up and in, and another fastball. And I mentioned Bob Gibson because, hey, we're in Omaha,
He's
right?
from here. Absolutely. We used to throw 93, 94 like Rocker does. What was interesting last week in that 130 pitches, he threw more sliders and fastballs. He threw just 3 changeups the entire game. So essentially he's a 2-pitch guy right now. But the 2 are just that good.
Good pitch right at the knees. Took a little off it at 91, and Dustin Skelton.
That's the pitch right there that takes him, in my opinion, to another level. That fastball down and away. Good velo. Now you can repeat that if you want, up and in, and then go slider down and away again. Man, as a hitter, it's hard to keep and stay on that.
Right there is the effect of it. Connor Halter, Colby White, and the freshman Landon Jordan are the 3 guys that decided to shave their heads. And the guy that did the shaving is the guy at the plate right now. That one misses down.
Kumar told me this week he was so tired in that no-hitter that he didn't even realize it was the last out. And he's a guy that, he's a big dude. He can crush some food. In the SEC tournament after his outing, he went and ate $40 worth of wings. He said he was so tired, someone ordered a pizza and he just fell asleep without eating.
Did you see him? Chris, did you see him after the final out? When he struck out 19, he didn't even hardly react.
He walked, well, because he walked and he was like, I didn't even realize that was the last one. I'm just going to go to the dugout, and then everyone has to come celebrate with him.
Strikes out another one there. You take a look at that celebration, if you will. And Philip Clark went out there to, kind of give him some love, and it was like, yeah, whatever. Like, he was so sort of focused. You take a look at this strikeout on the slider, and that's how he got the 19 in that game. But his reaction after that no-hitter was interesting. Next up, Rowdy Jordan. Again, leadoff man on, and so far stranded at first. On the ground, the shift. Boy, how about the defensive placements for both teams? KP, check out the reaction here. You talked about it. After he struck out his 19th. Yeah, we're good. Barely breathing. Not going to bury wings or pizza tonight. All good. Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Reddish, the rest of the Dukies, and everyone else interested in what's going to unfold tomorrow night. Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the 73rd annual NBA Draft. Pelicans with the first pick. NBA Draft Thursday, 7 Eastern, ESPN, and the ESPN app. Baseball game, ESPN 2, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Louisville against the loser of this one. Julian Infante thought he had hit the first time up, but he was robbed on a great play by Jordan Westberg. Start him off with a strike. Quickly 0-2. Twelve home runs out of your number 9 hitter on the season. Chases there. Foul tip into the glove. Did not hit the dirt, at least according to the umpire. I think that's what Infante was wondering. Did that ball hit the dirt?
It was definitely a foul ball. I think that hit the dirt, boys.
I saw a dirt fly.
I think that hit the dirt. Yep. Pretty good job by Skelton to sell it right there. Yeah, I caught it. Here it is. Right in my glove.
He's just going to go up and down the entire dugout asking, did you guys see that? Anybody? Just me? No one's helping me here.
Still trying to state his case.
I think we got an are you kidding me on the bench as well. That's ripped and just foul. Look out. Microphone right there, and you can just get the the guttural noises of the reach over the fence to get the ball.
Still grunting.
Who are we looking for? Look at that. See, they hand it off, and it's kind of younger than the, it's a young adult. He's passing it down to a generation just younger. That's off the helmet.
Fortunately, 80 miles per hour changeup. That's the one he hasn't had a feel for all afternoon.
I don't like that call anyway, right there against Martin. It's his third best pitch. He hasn't been comfortable with it the whole game. I understand it's the third time now that Austin Martin has seen it, but you could see the glove of Skelton. They were set up away to the right-handed hitter. And he missed his spot by almost 2 feet. Clearly the changeup is just he's not comfortable with it today. He's been just fine going fastball slider to this point.
And all his misses have been arm side on that changeup.
Now he's got to face J.J. Bleday. Singled and he walked. That's outside. Make a big deal of all the pitchers that have come out of Vanderbilt. As mentioned earlier, Price and Sonny Gray and Buehler. Think about the position players like Dansby Swanson, recent draft pick, 23rd of the Dodgers in 2017. Remember Jaron Kendall?
Yep.
Very similar numbers to what Bleday had in his career at Vanderbilt. 309 batting average, 32 homers. Bleday 327, 32 homers. And then everybody kind of takes different paths to the big leagues. Kendall's been in a bit of a funk. We've seen Swanson get there quickly. We saw Buehler get there relatively quickly. And now we'll see how long it takes for somebody like Bleday to get to the majors, especially on a team like the Miami Marlins. Mississippi State pitching coach is Scotty Foxall out of the College of Charleston, Auburn, North Carolina State. It's like Tristan Barlow up there, number 46, warming up.
And he's not just playing catch either. Barlow got up and he started heating up pretty quick. Slow walk out by Scott Foxall. 5 of the 9 in his Vandy lineup hitting from the left side. That's a main reason why Barlow, the lefty, is the first up and throwing for State.
One more look at Payton Plumlee's dad, and parents are always an interesting study. Where they observe a game from, if they're able to sit next to somebody or they have to be alone. Some folks have wandered around the concourse, others sit alone, others sit in the crowd. Mr. Plumlee's opted for the distance. 2-0 to Bleday. Grooved one and he fouled it off. He was a Golden Spikes finalist. We gave that award out with our buddy Tim Kirchin during the Major League game that was here last week between the Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers. Bleday fouls another one off. That, of course, was won by Adley Rutschman.
This is the pattern that Plumlee has been going to today with the left-handed hitters. Goes to that slider because he hasn't had the changeup. Usually during the games, during the regular season, he'd go to the changeup, but he hasn't had it today. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes slider down and in.
Set up away. That one was right over the heart of the plate. Going back is Mangum. He's not going to get to it. Bleday to second, rounding third and heading home. It's Martin. And he will score 2-0 in favor of Vanderbilt. J.J. Bleday delivers another RBI, his 70th of the season on his 14th double of the year.
He went fastball, and I'm really surprised he went with it. Even Dad's saying, got to throw the curveball right there. Look at this. Actually, more of a changeup grip.
Watch how pure this ball flies, too. I mean, this is when you know Bleday got all of it because it did not cut and come back to Mangum at all. When he broke on that, I think he thought the ball was going to come back to him a little, but Bleday hit it so square It held true all the way into that right center field gap. Drives in Martin from first base.
I'm surprised he went with that pitch. It has not worked for him the entire afternoon.
And he's going to come out of the game. Chris Lemonis has already made the change. And they had him in there to deal with the lefties, and it was Bleday and Stephen Scott who got him. The homer and now the double. 2-0 as he exits. 4 1/3, 2 earned. He is responsible for Bleday at second. He's hardly the first guy to give up a hard hit to J.J. Bleday, but now Mississippi State's behind 2-0. Kumar Rocker is rolling along. He's only allowed 2 hits, and Tristan Barlow, as Kyle mentioned, the lefty on the mound to neutralize the lefties.
There you go, left, left, left. Bleday, Ethan Paul, Philip Clark, Dimarco from the right side, then Stephen Scott. And that's why Barlow's in the game right here. I think if you're State, you'll take the start that Plumlee got you. It's a 2-0 ball game into the 5th. You knew you're going to have to play matchup at some point. The way that this Vanderbilt lineup is set up, it allows you to play matchup from the left side. Now Barlow, 3 of the next 4 that he will face will hit from the left side of the plate.
The hit batter cost him because Martin, of course, scored on that double as Rocker tries to stay cool. Only threw 59 pitches. Bleday has reached base 3 times, though, and the neutralization of the lefties with Bleday having 2 hits and Scott having that homer. Philip Clark also had a single. So when you have that many lefties, if they're hitting, the lefties are going to get to you, but the lefties are the guys that did the damage. As Barlow is set to throw, beach ball onto the warning track, retrieved. You ever do that as a kid? You ever chase the beach balls down, Kyle, growing up here?
Did I ever chase him down?
Yeah, were you ever that guy?
No, I was the one blowing him up.
You were throwing them.
Yeah.
Okay. So didn't know if the blue collar hard working mentality was born early.
Well, it is. It's not easy to sneak those things in. It's a lot easier to pick them up.
Ethan Paul the other way. That gets down. Bleday will be held at third base. First and third. First pitch swinging.
All right, so let's take a look at the J.J. Bleday at bat when Payton Plumlee was still on the ball game. First pitch, fastball off the plate, then we come back with a changeup. So 2-0 count. Steals a strike right there. Back with a changeup off the plate, and then 91 in a spot that Bleday's just too good. And I know that when you look at that, it looks like outer black good pitch, but away to Bleday. 91-mile-an-hour fastball to one of the best hitters in the country. He's going to cover that one most of the time.
And you watched J.J. Bleday's head. It was already leaning over, looking away the entire time. That's why I was saying you need to throw him that slider, the one that worked really well to strike out Philip Clark in the first inning. Those are the pitches that he was working well with. The changeup, it just was not there all afternoon.
High. Now we're 2-0. Clark was a guy that was on third base on a ground ball that was hit to Gilbert. He got caught off third base and was tagged out. Vanderbilt ended up scoring no runs in the 4th inning, so probably like to do a little redeeming of himself here with Bleday at third and Paul at first. And now 3-0. Barlow's best pitch is that slider, lefty on left. And he walks them on 4, and they are in trouble now with the bases loaded.
Hey, you're a head coach. This is not what you want. You bring in the lefty to try to get Paul and Clark out. Can't do either one of them. That has to get Chris Lemonis a little bit frustrated.
Looks like they're going to go to Riley Self, number 14, coming in. Lemonis trying to keep Vanderbilt at bay. We're back. Eddie was wondering what that. Well, we just covered up the condiment truck, but that's what that is. That's where you go and cover up mustard. Relish, yeah. We got a 1-1 Texas Tech Florida State game tonight at 7 Eastern time. Mike Martin, 40th season. That's going to be the headline going into it. Will they be able to stay alive? They have not won a College World Series title, and this will be his final chance in his last year. Yeah, see, Eddie, they were going in there maybe getting some onions to throw on that hot dog.
It's a little cart. Yep.
CC.
That's aggressive on the crowd there, partner.
We're not stopping either.
No, 1 spoon's
fine.
Oh,
the radio flyer. The radio flyer's in the building. How good is that?
I like it.
Doubling up.
Long day of tailgating.
All right, I'm ready. Just roll me in.
No, Riley Self is the guy that gets out of jams. That's what he's known for, the 6'4", 241-pound junior, and he's coming into one. Runners on base. He's been pretty effective. He's got bases loaded. J.J. Bleday at third, Paul at second, Clark at first. Here's Pat Dimarco, who singled his last time up.
Pat Dimarco's going to have to hit a cutter because that's probably all he's going to see in this at bat. Self will show you that cutter a ton, especially the righties.
On the ground, we'll go to second, and wow, he could have come home. They go back to third, but the run scores, and that may have been a mistake by Tanner Allen. You come home for the force at home. He didn't do it, and it's 3-0. Yep.
And he knows it too. And this is a play that you make up your mind way before the ball is hit to you. Anything to your right, yes, you go to second, but when it's at you like this, take it home. As soon as he turned around, there was nobody at first base. Right there, Vandy taking advantage of a mistake by Allen.
Oh, that's a big one there. That's a big one because that probably would have been a double play. If you come home right there, Allen's got enough time to get to first base. Worst case scenario, erase that runner. It won't go down as an error, but that's a big mental error right there.
Scott in a big spot. Slider missed, could get into his wheelhouse. He's homered once already today. That one did into his wheelhouse, and that is hammered. Scott's second of the day, a 3-run shot. Vanderbilt up 6-0.
Steven Scott hasn't met a pitch yet today that he does not like. Slider right down the middle. He knew it with the bat flip. He's just opened this baby up.
Challenge for that righty that throws the slider down and into lefties, especially the way Scott's swinging it today. Living dangerously. He now's got 4 RBI on the day and 2 home runs. That mental error, if there were a double play, obviously we're not in this situation. Into the seats, and I'm sure Tanner Allen is just kicking himself over there. Good news for Tanner Allen of Mississippi State. Regardless of the outcome here, you're going to get another chance. But he's thinking about it.
Yeah, but this one you can't put on him.
No,
because runner, even if he gets the out at home, I don't think they might get the double play on it. You still have to execute with Scott. An exit velocity of 105.9 miles per hour. The first one was at 104 miles per hour. Drafted in the 10th round by the Boston Red Sox, 97th career home run.
The 97th of the season for Vanderbilt.
The season.
This one fell apart quick. Plumlee out. Tristan Barlow, the lefty, came in. He didn't do his job, and then Riley Self gave up the 3-run shot. Three and two, and you can just kind of feel the air has been taken out of Mississippi State right now. Five runs in the inning for the Commodores, and the lefties have really done the damage. Two down for Ty Duvall. Riley Self having a hard time finding the zone here. Looks like Colby White is up in the bullpen for Mississippi State. Cardiac kids have come from behind 28 times, but now they're in a huge hole against a really good pitching staff. There's White getting warm because Self gave up that homer, followed it with a walk, and now behind 3-0. That one's getting a piece of the corner. Way outside. Another walk.
You got to go get him pretty quick because Riley Self just has not looked comfortable since he's come in the ball game.
And he's reached the top step and he's coming out. Reading the mind of Kyle Peterson, Chris Lemonis already made his mind up. We will see the third pitcher come in relief. We've seen Barlow, Riley Self, and now Colby White next man up for Mississippi State. 6-0 Vanderbilt. Great Scott. Steven Scott, 2 home runs today. We're back. Take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance, and it is Steven Scott. Absolutely annihilated a first pitch slider for a 3-run homer.
There's the encore.
In the second, he homered in the 5th. And the 2 home runs are Capital One rewarding performance. Third multi-home run game here at TD Ameritrade. Austin Martin. He did it to lead things off for Vanderbilt here. Michael Papierski. That's got in a grand slam, Michael Papierski. And here's Colby White out of Foxworth, Mississippi. 4th different pitcher of the inning. It started with Plumlee, Barlow, Self, and now White. Rocker has obviously not pitched for a while. This inning is dragged on with all these runs, so he's trying to keep himself busy. Two of the better teams when this tournament began. Two of the favorites on the field here today. And for a team that has come from behind, still plenty of time, only in the 5th. But 4 of the 8 teams that were here were out of the SEC, and 2 of them have already left in Auburn and Arkansas. And another one will be on the brink after this game.
Guys, ball don't lie. Neither do numbers. On the mound, Colby White facing Julian Infante. I'm telling you right now, 47 strikeouts and 25 2/3 innings pitched.
And it's pretty straightforward. You're going to see fastballs. And you're going to see mid-90s fastballs. That's what White is in there to do right now.
Infante struck out in this inning. As he bats for the second time, he led things off. So they have officially batted around. This is one of those Tim Kirchin questions, Kyle. Do you have to get to the 9 guy, or do you have to have your guy come up for the second time in order for you to consider it batting around?
10.
Yep. Runners move up as that one sailed over the head of Julian Infante.
That's scary.
Hard to dig in after that first pitch if you're Infante.
Big time. Julian Infante led off this inning with a strikeout. You don't want to be that guy to bookend an inning.
Good heat there, 95. 5 runs here in this 5th inning. That is as many as any other team has in a game at this year's College World Series. And you just kind of look at Stephen Scott. It's a very businesslike, ho-hum, I got 2 bombs today. You wouldn't know it. Where's number 80? Because kind of looked like a football player. Give him a football player's number.
Tight end.
Fastball right there, and Infante is gone. A lot of damage done, though. Vanderbilt leading by a half dozen. We'll come back to the College World Series after this. Welcome back, everyone. The NCAA College World Series is presented by Capital One. Let's go down to KB with Tim Corbin.
Coach, Stephen Scott is a kid who got drafted last year, decided to come back for his senior year. He's had the 2 home runs. Where has he made his biggest improvement of this year?
Probably controlling his strike zone more than anything else, but and compacted his swing a little bit. He's become more of a complete hitter than just a power hitter, so we're glad to have him back.
For Kumar, all the attention that he got after that last outing, did you have to say anything to him in this week leading up to this start to get him to settle down and know that he could go out and kind of be able to focus on this game?
Not really. I mean, if I speak to him, I speak to him with a team. I think that's the most important thing. I think bringing any more attention when I don't do that during the course of the year would be different. So, he's a mature kid, handles himself well, and he knows how to move forward quickly.
You've had a lot of teams here in Omaha. How is this team different than years past?
We'll see after it's done.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
So he had a 34-minute between pitches rest. Kumar Rocker comes out and gets leadoff man to ground out. So Hatcher retired. Marshall Gilbert, the 9-hole hitter, steps up. An interesting story about Rocker in that J.J. Bleday's brother, his older brother Adam, was applying for a job in the Astros organization, their analytics organization. And one of the things that he had to do was watch Rocker's game film from 2017 when he was a high schooler. And he didn't know, obviously, that Rocker was going to end up on his younger brother's baseball team, but he has confirmed with him his initial report. It was the Astros who he was trying to get a job with. The initial report was real deal. He's got it all. The brother JJ has said, yes, you nailed that one, Adam. Thank you. And he subsequently now has a job in the Orioles organization. But one of the things he had to do was look at this kid pitching.
Well, when he interviewed with the Astros, let's not forget that now manning the Orioles is the Astros, old Astros front office team. So that interview went a long way.
I wonder how he'd break his brother down. You could go real deal on his brother too.
You could, although because he's his brother, he'd probably come up with something else.
Well, they did have the 1-1 pick. The Orioles did.
Yeah, Adley Rutschman's pretty safe bet there. Yeah, pretty good player. Not as good as older brother. Used to beat him up. There's a good job going the other way from Marshall Gilbert into right field, and he's aboard.
Mike Elias, now the general manager of the Orioles. Really good piece of hitting.
Your point's really good, though, for people that are in this field of baseball or any field. The idea that you have an interview with one guy, one place, or one woman, one place, they could end up somewhere else that could certainly have an impact on where you go in your career. And that's a great example of it. Baseball people bounce all over the place. You look at the coaches that are here and how many of them have crossed paths or been on staffs of guys that they're coaching against. Lemonis, of course, with Dan McDonald. You got Bakich, who was with Tim Corbin for years.
This Stacy is a gamer. Kidney stones and all, she's out here right now rooting for Jake and State.
To be around Jake Mangum and hear him talk about his Mississippi State experience, he has great perspective on it, because he realizes what a special 4 years it has been for him. I mean, he should be on the admissions board if the baseball thing doesn't work out, because he sells Mississippi State hard.
His dad's here too, but he's not sitting next to Mom. Dad gets a little too nervous. John, yeah, there's the empty chair. He has to pace the concourse. We've looked for him. His usual spot at home is leaning up against the batter's eye, so we've been out there trying to find him. Apparently he doesn't want the camera. He's a little too nervous to watch his boy.
Well, then we're gonna stick Inspector Clouseau button on that. We gotta find out where he's hanging. And the count 2-1. Right in first, underneath the glove of the first baseman Infante. That's hustle. Good job by Jake Mangum, and he is aboard.
That's why he's so respected in the SEC and all over college baseball. It's the hustle. Right out of the box. Never once does he stop running hard right from the get-go. This is what the state team's all about.
You saw Jake look back as Scott Brown comes out to talk to Kumar Rocker. You saw Jake look back and say, all right, here we go. 6 runs in the 5th inning. Your goal isn't to get all 6 back. You just want to start to chip away.
And it feels like if you're State, you got to get a few here. You got to get a few here. You got to get that pitch count up for Rocker, potentially get into the Vanderbilt bullpen. Because Vandy's bullpen is not light on velocity, but it can be hit and miss. Action already.
What's that? Patrick Raby,
the all-time wins leader at Vanderbilt, has been a starter for most of his career, now up and throwing.
Vanderbilt has the senior Raby, the junior Fellows, the sophomore Hickman, and now the freshman Rocker. All were freshman weekend starters. So the first time he's dealt with some real trouble here, with one out and a good hit of Jordan Westberg up. I heard the story of the recruitment of Kumar Rocker and the involvement that his parents, who we just saw, had, and ultimately when the real decision day came, Kumar stood up at the end of it and told Tim Corbin, "I'm going to be the best Vanderbilt teammate ever." On the infield, and could be called an infield fly, and it was. So Westberg is retired. I thought the language that he used is pretty interesting, and it wasn't the dad or mom, but he said, "I'm going to be the best Vanderbilt teammate ever." And they didn't leave there knowing he was committed, but boy, that's a pretty firm statement from Kumar Rocker.
I'd say that's what you want to hear from a kid that's coming in. Not, am I going to be in the rotation? Not anything like that. I'm going to be a really good teammate. 38th rounder out of high school. Talk about his dad won the Outland.
I just think the best teammate ever comment is perfect for collegiate athletics, especially when you grow up in the environment that he did, in a football family where you have that family tie of football where you depend on each other, on the linemen.
Inside, Tracy Rocker, of course, was such a successful collegiate player. You could just see that none of this is going to bother he or his son. Like, we're good, 2 out, 2 men on, nobody out, no problem, 1 out, fine. They don't speak every night like a lot of players, but they speak once a week. And the interesting part of the no-hitter story was Tracy was, of course, on a recruiting trip. He wasn't there. Mom was in the stands. We showed her a lot. Dad was watching on his cell phone. Two, 1. Wow. Good diving play. Harrison Ray was in ideal position, and he robbed Tanner Allen of a hit. And he saved what is currently a shutout. They'll all go out and celebrate Harrison Ray.
We talk about positioning all afternoon long. Right here, Ray doesn't pick it up right off the bat, but makes a great adjustment going to his left, showing his athleticism. Think Rocker's happy? Oh, yes, he is. 6-0, Vandy.
You can knock me out. You can knock me out. You can hold me down. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Mississippi State has rallied. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
That ball's hammered. Forget about it. That one is gone again. Give him a scholarship.
Well, that's the way to get the party started.
Some of the images from this week. Mr. Henry in Michigan 2-0. How about a 9-inning shutout that he threw? Michigan's loaded with arms and athletes, and they are 2-0. One of these two teams going to be 2-0 as well. You break down into 2 brackets. Texas Tech and Florida State will play tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Auburn and Arkansas have been dismissed from the College World Series. Louisville won earlier today in the game that was suspended because of rain yesterday. They carried on and won. And now the 5th pitcher of the game is on for Mississippi State. It's Keegan James, the junior, who is making his 18th appearance of the season. Guy down there in that Mississippi State bullpen that I know a lot of folks who know about college pitching is Eric Seront out of Canada. Got all sorts of pitches and velocity. Really polished, too, for a kid that age.
I haven't seen him a lot this year. Santola, just 10 appearances. We could potentially see him today. Keegan James in the game right now, and this is a pretty good indication as to what Mississippi State is going to do in their next start. JT Ginn, towards the back end of the season, has missed a few turns, did not pitch in the Super because they didn't go 3 games. And in talking to State's coaching staff, they said if we play 3 games, JT Ginn's going to pitch 1 of them. This pretty much confirms that, because if it wasn't Ginn, Keegan James would have been the Game 3 starter. Instead, he's in tonight.
Sixth inning, 6-0 Vanderbilt over Mississippi State. Kumar Rocker enjoyed that diving catch by Ray, and this one is lifted into left field on a line, and it's caught out there by Rowdy Jordan. Martin squared it up, but he is retired. Here is younger brother of Adam, J.J. Bleday. Been on 3 times with a single, a double, and a walk. And another one squarely. Mangum coming hard. He won't get to it. Ho hum. J.J. Bleday now has 3 hits today, and he's reached all 4 times.
Nice job, man.
What do you like about Bleday? I mean, obviously he can hit, he can pile hit something. What do you like about him?
He's got coverage, and he's not predictable. He'll use his line to line. You pitch him away, he'll go with the pitch. You pitch him in, he's got quick hands and stays tight to his body. He's got discipline. And you have that. That's a perfect combination right there with power that he showed this year. Marlins picked a big one and a good one.
Game 8 of the College World Series. The previous 7 have all been decided by 2 runs or less. In a very competitive College World Series, it's the first game that's gone like this. I think that one went off the umpire's foot, if anything. And down to second goes Bleday.
Grady Smith, the home plate umpire. This is why you wear the steel toes right here. No glove to it. Short hop right off that. And you could see from Skelton, he was sitting on the other side of the plate, so he couldn't even get a glove to that fastball that was pulled to the other side. All right. Shin guards cover it, steel-toed shoes. Grady Smith didn't even flinch.
Ethan Paul singled and scored in that big 5-run 5th. This one to left. Will it hang up long enough? It does, for Jordan to make the play, and doubling off J.J. Bleday. Either he didn't see where the left fielder was, or he forgot how many outs there were. Double play ends it, and he's still up 6-0.
Welcome back. After the last inning, Kumar Rocker went into the dugout. Tim Corbin went up to him and asked, how's the mound doing? Rocker said, it's sticky. I need something out there. So Corbin went and found the field maintenance guys. And KP, what exactly are they doing out there?
Well, it's interesting because you usually like sticky when you're out there, because that means your spike is going to hold when you get into the clay. I mean, mounds are built at this level. They're built with clay, and so you want that spike to hold. Here's the one thing that's a little bit different. Vanderbilt throws at home. Their mound is turf. It's one of the only turf mounds in the entire country. So when you get on a mound like this, Kumar Rocker's used to that front foot having a little bit more give when he lands at home, or when he lands, his plant foot lands as he's going towards home plate. You're on a clay mound. There's not a whole lot there. I mean, those spikes are going to stick, and then you go over that front leg. That really looked like it's bothered him today. 4 strikeouts for Kumar Rocker. 3 have come on the slider. There's 1. 2 and 3, the other on the fastball, but he's also had plenty of soft contact on it too. Not many of these balls in the middle of the plate. That's one of the only ones right there. Besides that, off the plate, down and out of the zone, and just like it was last time when he struck out 19. Slider's been one of the keys tonight for Rocker.
28 of the 36 for strikes have been off the breaking ball. 20 swings, 11 misses, 3 Ks. He's thrown almost half breaking balls today. And big number 8, he's putting together another heck of a game. Coming off that 19 strikeout no-hit effort, he's given up only 3, hasn't allowed a run. And they got him for a couple more years at Vanderbilt. Start things off with Elijah Mcnamee. Elijah dealt with his own disappointment recently when he didn't get drafted. Most people figure he's going to get a chance. He's a good hitter and a good outfielder. He's a senior leader of this team. He didn't want to let the draft define him, but it was a crushing first night according to those in the program.
Somebody will give him a chance. He'll be a free agent sign once his season gets over. He'll get a chance to go play somewhere. Then at that point, it's just whether or not you can play. If he goes out and puts up numbers, Elijah Mcnamee will keep moving up a system.
Lives for the big moments too. Saw him in Tallahassee break the hearts. A lot of Florida State Seminoles a couple years ago, and then this year, big home run, last at bat at State.
Right back at him off his glove, and that's going to be a hit. One of the things you notice about Rocker is that when he finishes his pitches, he's not yet in ideal fielding position.
And it's that lower half. We were talking about this off camera. I mean, it's first and foremost, I want to make the pitch. And however you end up afterwards, ideally you'd like to be in a great fielding position, but watch where the feet are afterwards. So it's that scissors kick that comes all the way across. If it's glove side and off, so further towards first base, it's an easy play because your momentum's taking you that way. If you have to reach back across your body or that one that was right back at him, all your weight is leaning towards first base. It's just hard to get the glove back there.
This one left field. Going back there is Scott. At the track, he makes the play. Mcnamee's coming. And he's in there safely. Justin Foscue didn't miss that by much. But sticking with Rocker, so what do you think that Tim Corbin and Scott Brown, what will they work on for the next couple of years when he's there? What do you think?
Third pitch is one thing. I tell you, the other thing today too is we're starting to nitpick a little bit here. His arm side fastball, I mean, he doesn't throw too many fastballs his arm side. Like most guys, they will throw more fastballs arm side because it's easier. You can cheat to get that pitch there. It's tougher to get it to your glove side. You have to stay all the way through it. So I think it's two things. It's fastball command as you move on. You don't have to do anything to slider. I mean, the slider's a big league pitch now. And then a third pitch, try to get that changeup along. It's a pretty good start, though.
I think just, watching him a few times this year and seeing him today and knowing what he did against Duke, I think you're looking at somebody who's going to be really special. He's a freshman.
KP, how far do they go with him? He threw 130 pitches a week ago in the Super Regionals. He's at 85 right now. It's a 6-0 lead. They hold on.
It wouldn't surprise me if this is his last inning. You get through the sixth, even if it's clean, if you go to the bullpen.
1-2. Just for those who are wondering who's warming up out in that bullpen for Vanderbilt. Looks like Jake Eder and Raby, who was warming up earlier. The glove side and arm side from a pitching perspective is your fastball. If you're throwing to your arm side, you're coming inside to righties. If you end up with your fastball to your glove side, you're throwing outside to righties.
And if you've seen Rocker today, the comfort pitch with the fastball is that glove side. So it's away to right-handed hitters. Because as you go up, and there's reports now that'll say, but as you go up, that scouting report you get before the game is going to show fastball location, where they're comfortable going. And as hitters, the further you go up in the system, if you can eliminate half of the plate with one pitch, makes it a little bit easier.
As a personality, too, Corbs and Scott Brown will tell you, Rocker's in the middle of all of it. He's not one of those who asks for attention when they're out. He's in the middle of all of it. Kids, he's in the middle of the laughter. I think the teammate thing is very sincere, very genuine.
That's the one you can't fake.
No.
You get in the clubhouse, you can't fake being a good teammate. And guys sniff it out one way or another right away. And Tim Corbin talking about this team, sounds he's got 27 of those guys.
2-2. They'll look down. No swing. So he stays alive. 3-2 now to Dustin Skelton. Mississippi State fans looking for something to cheer about. That's a perfect pitch. He throws him solid. Skelton goes back to the dugout. Another strikeout for Kumar Rocker.
How about the emotion of Rocker right here? Throws a slider, 3-2. Runner on second. He knows probably this is his last inning. Looking for that strikeout. The ability of being able to throw that pitch. 3-2 for a strike. It kept them on that bump, successful in the SEC.
I thought it was interesting talking to Scott Brown, the pitching coach for Vanderbilt, when we were discussing Rocker. He said, you know, I know for years everybody said establish a fastball, establish a fastball. And obviously you would prefer to establish a fastball. At the end of the day, throw your best stuff more. It's pretty straightforward. If your best stuff is a slider, throw your slider more. And that's what Rocker has been doing for the last few weeks. He throws to me, he commands his slider better than he does his fastball, and the pitch is more of a swing and miss pitch. Keep throwing it.
Got a big smile with the NBA draft coming up tomorrow night. Could he be a Zion Williamson of college baseball? Guy you have to watch, guy who enjoys himself, guy who's bigger than most. This one into left field and rounding third and coming home is Mcnamee. Here's the throw, cut off, they get a run. Rowdy Jordan delivers through the shift, and it's 6-1.
Good piece of hitting, hunt that fastball. No one on that side of the infield. Mcnamee scores easily. Dirties up the uniform. Mississippi State up on the board.
For Josh Hatcher. And this one heads to the seats. What do you think about that? And that's lofty. And Zion is completely unique in his own sport, but this guy's got a lot of those traits, and I just think he's such an imposing guy.
A lot of things to love. In the season that he's had, the stuff jumps out. He's only a freshman, so you got 2 more years to build up to it. There'll be a lot of eyes on him, I can promise you that. There'll be a lot of eyes on this Vanderbilt team next year, too.
That run ends what was a 19 and a third, 2/3 scoreless inning streaks for Rocker. Thinking back, how about some of the pitching performances we've seen? You have Parrish, who was crazy good. Henry, who was nuts. Rocker's been tremendous
Isaiah
today.
Campbell was outstanding for Arkansas.
Was great. That's why the games have been close, but you have some serious arms here through Game 8 of the College World Series.
Starters and relievers.
Nasty, he got him there. Rocker may be done. If he is, he will leave with a 6th strikeout.
This is our moment. This is our time. This is our chance.
This one is lifted deep to right field. Going back is Mcnamee at the wall. It's over the wall. That one did into his wheelhouse, and that is hammered. Scott's second of the day, a 3-run shot. Our game summary is brought to you by Buick with Eduardo Perez, Kyle Peterson, and Chris Budden. Carl Ravitch, Steven Scott, ding-dong twice. It's 6-1. Kumar Rocker threw 96 pitches. Kind of kept an eye on Tim Corbett. Didn't appear to rush over to talk to Rocker when he came off. Mississippi State has left 7 on base. And we move to the 7th inning. 4-5-6 for Vanderbilt. Philip Clark, Dimarco, and Steven Scott bidding for a 3-home run game.
You know, it occurred to me too, obviously in the position we're in, but listening to the other guys, we haven't focused on, wow, there's no home runs at all. Like, that conversation is over here.
What's great is for a few years the ballpark was a part of the story. It's not anymore. I mean, I think it plays fair. It plays a little bit bigger, especially to center field, but it plays very fair. If you get it from right center to the right field foul pole, left center to left field foul pole, if you catch it, it's going to go out of this park.
Yep.
We've seen it again today.
It's a good way to put it. And then they made an adjustment to the baseball, lowered the seams a little bit. That seems to have helped it. But that's a well thought out point, that it used to be a big part of the story, and now you never, other than its beauty and how much fun it is, you don't really mention the ballpark anymore in any way other than a positive one. With the exception of the rain too, the weather's been pretty favorable. The wind has kind of been down and sometimes out. Florida State later tonight would like to see the wind blow out a little bit. That's a team that kind of lives and dies by the homer.
I was actually looking forward, very disappointed in the rain yesterday. Looking forward to the Zestos we were promised, never received.
I got it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I came over here.
Did you really? Just for that?
It's a good teammate, isn't it?
Oh, I brought my daughter and 2 daughters over and their friends, and we walked around, took pictures. My little one wanted to do a tarp slide, but that was not allowed.
How was your Zestos, Carl?
Didn't happen.
Mine was awesome.
The entire truck apparently had, and they probably had some extras.
Oh, 1-0 us. I'm be afraid to show up every once in a while.
I got the call.
So did I.
You know, I'm just kind of vanilla shake for anybody interested. Just straight up V shake.
That was yesterday.
I'll take the chocolate.
Just feel the love. Feeling it. Look out.
Seen a few pitches up and in.
A couple of towers have been buzzed.
Yep.
In a way.
Hasn't changed for 100 years.
And it's such a tribute to the hitters that stand in there. I just really marvel at their ability to do that after one almost gets him in the head. Mcnamee came in, now he's going back, and he's there to make the sliding catch on the warning track. Not the most direct route, but that one may have caught a little wind tunnel and blew out towards right center further than he thought.
And you can see the speed developing also. Closing down on that baseball, had to accelerate. Big Mcnamee right there. Aware of where the wall is, warning tracks. Makes it look easy. Mouth open, fellas. Mouth open.
I'm
jury out on
with you now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm with him.
So you bought in.
The great outfielders have them open, and they don't even realize that they do it.
That was my problem.
J.D. Drew, 1995. 3 home runs in a game. Scott swinging like he was wanting to hit one.
JD's freshman year.
That was JG's. You remember Edmund Youth of Stanford? 2000. Yep. Jeff Larish.
Arizona State.
3 guys with 3 homers.
He was good at Florida State.
I'm in that book. Not in college. Oh, yeah. St. Louis.
He'll choke up on that bat.
Changeup got him. Scott retired. Bottom 7 coming up. Mangum will be at the plate. We'll talk about his legacy at Mississippi State. Eduardo, look who's in town. Look who has showed up at the yard.
That's 11 with big shooter behind him.
Mike Martin and the Florida State Seminoles tonight at 7, elimination game. So everything he does on this day could be the last time he does it in a Florida State uniform. That guy's going to have a lot more days in a Vanderbilt uniform. Kumar Rocker, 6 innings, threw almost 100 pitches, going to get a little ice on that arm. And a really solid performance.
You know, anytime a freshman comes in, he goes 6 innings, give up just 1 run. That's impressive. I think it's more impressive after what he just did. You go 130, excuse me, 130 pitches, punch out 19. Don't really know how your body's going to come back. His body was fine. Now the all-time winningest pitcher in Vanderbilt history is on coming out of the bullpen. Patrick Raby's been a starter the entire season. Of his 16 appearances, 15 have been as a starter. So he can take you the rest of the way if you want him to right here. Rocker kind of jumped him for the 2nd spot in the rotation this year. Now they'll go back to the senior to try to finish it off.
Guys, we talked about it in the open. Mississippi State 28 comebacks on the season. Last year they were the cardiac kids in the postseason. Don't count them out. They got 9 outs. They scored 4 in the last inning, the last game, and they got to the bullpen.
Got to be relief just not to look out there and see number 80 on the mound as Marshall Gilbert leads things off, bottom 7. Hammered to left field. Going back is Scott. He looks up. It's gone. Just like that. A home run for Marshall Gilbert. Patrick Raby. And it's 6-2.
Don't count them out, fellas. Do not count them out. Vanderbilt knows how many times Mississippi State has come back this season, and they also know and they believe. Fastball, it's a different fastball than what they were seeing with Kumar. And quickly the 9-hole hitter, Marshall Gilbert, 2nd hit of the game. This one a big one.
Now you turn the lineup over. Now you get Mangum back up. You've got threat coming in this Mississippi State offense, and Raby out there, and Tyler Brown, the closer, up and throwing in that Vanderbilt bullpen, and he's not just playing catch. Brown needs to be ready.
6 home run for Gilbert as Mangum fouls the first pitch off. So we know that Jake Mangum's going to miss Mississippi State. How much is Mississippi State going to miss Jake Mangum, Kyle, having seen him for 4 years?
I mean, in many ways, they call him the mayor for a reason. I mean, he's been the face of this program for a few years now. He won the SEC batting title his freshman year. That was 4 years ago. There's 2 statues at Dudy Noble as you come in.
Left center field gap, and this could be trouble. Scott going over. He won't get that. Mangum to second, and he's in with a double. A home run and a double to start. The bottom of the 7th for Mississippi State, and you know they're feeling, here we come.
That's the all-time hits leader in the SEC. There's 2 statues at Dudy Noble. One is Rafael Palmeiro, the other one is Will Clark, and it would not surprise me if at some point there's a 3rd. That's the impact that Mangum has had on this program, and when they go, especially late, he's in the middle of it somewhere. He started things off against Auburn with a double to right field. That got the offense going. Now it keeps it going here in the 7th.
Buckle up, boys. Buckle up.
Jake Mangum is so appreciative to have that SEC hits record, but when you talk to him, it's more of a relief. He said he would walk on campus. People would come up, hey, you're 11 away. Hey, you're 9 away. So it was nice to be able to just get congratulations and not be reminded every day just how close he was.
Yeah, he's out there, and he's trying to stir this drink here that can get Mississippi State another come-from-behind win. They've got 28 of them. More than 50% of their wins have been of the come-from-behind type. 2 walk-offs. They're, of course, the home team. We're only in the 7th, though. And here's Westberg. He's reached with a double in 3 plate appearances.
I'd go get Raby right now. You can't, if you're Vanderbilt, you can't let this thing spin anymore. Westberg only has 6 home runs this year, but he's got about as much raw power as anybody on Mississippi State's team. Now you're dead red count. Raby's about 90-91 with a straight fastball. Be careful right here.
7 homers on the season for Jordan Westberg.
He wanted that, and that ball was outside. Not feeling too comfortable on the mound. Guess who's up?
Big pitch on the corner. 3-2.
Not really a pitch you want to be hunting for. 3-1, you want something either middle in. Now he has to open it up a little bit.
Swing and a miss. That's a big out for Rowdy. And Westberg was ahead 2-0, and he's retired.
That's huge right there for Patrick Rowdy, because 3-0 count comes all the way back. Westberg probably swung at ball 4 in the 3-1. This one may have been ball 4 again. The last two fastballs from Rowdy have had a little bit of cut on him. You won't see that a lot from Rowdy, but it looks like he's getting it around. That cut took it off of the bat. First strikeout of the game for Rowdy.
Twice this season, the Bulldogs have come from 6 or more runs down to win. Against Auburn March 24th, and they overcame a 7-run deficit to beat Memphis on May 8th. And they're chipping away, down now by 4 after trailing 6-0 into the bottom of the 6th. This one's got gap written all over it. The dive, and it's past the center fielder, Dimarco. Mangum is going to score to make it 6-3, and holding up at second base with a double is Tanner Allen. But the Dogs are barking.
From up here, Tanner Allen looked like he would have had a stand-up triple. He's still celebrating that double and most likely being asked, why did you stop at second? The dive by Dimarco. You have to play with what's on the scoreboard. If you're going to catch this ball, it better be not on a dive. Instead, now you have another runner on second, possibly could have been at third base. And Mississippi State, this is their time and they know it.
Patrick Raby's got a bunch of teammates around him, but no move from Tim Corbin to come out. Take a look at Tanner Allen, who hit this ball into the gap.
Yeah, Eddie, I'm with you. It looked like he'd have been on third base, I mean, really without a throw there, I think.
At all. You actually have to play that on a bounce and try to keep him at first base. But you see when the cutoff man, Paul, received the baseball. He had enough time to have gotten the third base standing up.
Raby stays in to face the dangerous Elijah Mcnamee, the cleanup hitter. 3 extra base hits in the inning for Mississippi State. Ball 1. Mcnamee gets on. The tying run will come to the plate.
I'm shocked Raby's still in the game. It just does not. He hasn't looked. I know the strikeout, he came back from the 3-0 count to get Westberg, but other than that, there's been a lot of loud contact. That's where he's going to try to live. When Raby's at his best, it's that fastball just up and out of the zone. And for Mcnamee, it's one that you've got to either cover or let go if it's just up and out. It's 89-90, so it's not like he's living there 95. But when he's going good, it's a swing and miss on that pitch right there.
Rocker gave up 1 run, came out of the game before this inning started. Breaking ball, strike 2.
Good take.
Really good take.
Good take. Now you have to be aware of that same type of fastball that cut a little bit that struck out Westberg. The outside part of the plate made him chase.
Still down 3, but make no mistake about it. Mississippi State and their fans here and those watching on television now know they have life, and a lot of it. That's into the seats.
If he could throw that same breaking ball he did earlier in this at bat, he's probably going to strike him out. Because Mcnamee guarding against that fastball up and out of the zone, that was a really defensive swing.
J.J. Bleday coming in and moving towards the line after that last swing.
On the ground is short. Got a good hop across the diamond.
Yes, he stayed on it.
And the runner is out. Now again, you got to go back to Allen.
Yes.
That's a run if he's at third.
Yes, because the infield's going to play back, obviously. Vanderbilt has the lead at this point. That's absolutely a run.
Go back, Vic. Got it? Got it.
We still have a chance to pick him up. Justin Foscue. He is hit it hard and hit it up in the air all 3 times. He flew out to center and to left. And the shortstop made a catch, chasing one down. That one in the dirt.
All right.
2-0. Patrick Gravy came in for Kumar Rocker, promptly gave up a home run to Marshall Gilbert to start this inning, then a double for Mangum, strikeout of Westberg, a double and an RBI for Allen, made it 6-3. Mcnamee with a fielder's choice, and here's Foscue. On the corner, strike 1. The rally against Auburn the other night was started by Mangum, and he has been in the middle of this one as well. 3-1. Trying to call time, didn't get it. Instead, it's a walk. And the tying run will come to the plate in Dustin Skelton. Tim Corbin, arms folded, looks down towards that bullpen. Nobody is currently throwing. There's certainly guys who are ready. And now he's coming out. Mississippi State, the home run from Gilbert, double from Mangum. They're bringing in Tyler Brown in a high leverage situation in the bottom of the 7th. Mississippi State continues to show that they are not done until the last out. Gilbert going yard. Mangum saying we need more. And an Allen double. They are the comeback kids. They get a chance for their 29th of the season. With Chris Button down on the field, Eduardo Perez, Kyle Peterson, Carl Ravitch here. Mississippi State knocking on the door. Bottom of the 7th, 2 men down. They get runners on the corners. And it all falls on the shoulders now of number 21, Tyler Brown.
Guys, take a look right here. You got Coach Cottrell right there holding him up at third base. That's college cheese, bro.
Yep.
Holding him up at third base. He's looking to see if the run's scoring, obviously, and he picks up his third base coach. But my problem is this. The ball is in left center field. You're your best coach.
Right.
The ball's in front of you. You don't have to look at the third base coach right there for that play. I think it was just too premature, him putting his hands up.
Brown against Louisville, 1 2/3, a hit. And that nasty slider shown right there to Skelton.
This is some real stuff here now. This is a lockdown closer, 15 saves, that's 6th in the country, 59 strikeouts and 8 walks for your closer. It's a mid-90s fastball, and that slider you just saw right now, you probably won't see anything other than those two.
That's a filthy pitch there in the corners. And obviously this is the time to bring him in, but if you're Mississippi State, he's not going to give you 3 innings of work here, is he?
Yeah, he could.
Think he does?
Yes.
All right, because you have him on the mound.
You bring him in now, you bring him in to finish the game.
And Brown is going to be charged with getting 7 outs. Ooh, what a scoop.
Saved one.
That's a run saver, is right.
And that's the only thing Clark can do. There's no chance. You don't have enough time to go over and block this ball. All you can do is throw your glove out there and play hockey goalie and
close your eyes and pray it goes in.
That's a glove save and a beauty right there. That saved a run.
Called strike 3. And he gets the job done. Took that one off. Philip Clark saved a run. Instead of a 2-run deficit, it's still 3.
Showing up, ooh yeah, it's gotta be the whole time. Got a parking lot full of trucks. Oh, so I know I'm in a party crowd. Good thing I decided to roll up tonight. This is one that I don't wanna miss. It feels like a party. Feels like a party to me. Make you want to get your hands up, side to side. Get your hands up, side to side. Make you want to get your hands up.
Feels like a party, feels like a Bulldog baseball game. They spot you some runs, and then they try to come back. And this is the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. There are the Knowles, Florida State, in the cages downstairs below. And they'll be on the field roughly at 7 Eastern time on ESPN, or 1 hour after this one is completed. Perfect day in Omaha for baseball. Temperatures in the high 70s, low 80s. No rain in the forecast right now. And a good game between Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. 8th inning, Vanderbilt. Harrison Ray, 7, 8, 9.
Here we go.
Keegan James stays on the mound for Mississippi State. Bounces that one. That was a heck of a job by Tyler Brown, who came in and snuffed out the fire that was going on there for Mississippi State very quickly.
Tyler Brown's going to have his hands full because that inning guaranteed now that Mangum and the rest of the crew in the top of the order will be hitting one more time in this game.
Look out. Wow, that one got by everybody.
He's had a few of those already.
Both teams have had a few of those today. Saw that graphic up there quickly. 4 times Brown has had saves of 7 or more outs. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Lead off walk after you score a couple of runs. Not what Chris Lemonis wants there.
No, and you've looked at where Mississippi State has been successful in the 6th and 7th inning. Both times, Vanderbilt has gone only 3 hitters in the top half of those innings.
This is not a team that sacrifices a lot. In fact, the guy that's on base, Ray's got more than anybody. Now Duvall stands there as if he's ready, and now he pulls that bat back. Ray's the speed stealer on this team. He and Austin Martin, 38 combined, 20 of them for Ray. Did you have a beard in college, Kaifi?
That was a no-no.
Couldn't do it there.
That was a no-no. I showed up with a goatee thinking I was pretty cool. And it was like
wait a second. You showed up with a goatee as a freshman?
Goatee, yeah.
You could throw a beard in as a freshman.
Well, I was getting there, but you interrupted me. And you know, it's that high school goatee that you think looks cool, but it's just got a little bit of hair here and a little bit of hair there, and that lasted about 4 hours. Once I got to the ballpark, I was informed that we wear caps and sleeves at this level, son. It was time to shave, and it didn't take long.
Once every 2 weeks.
So nobody really was able to kind of judge it, because one of the things when you look around the College World Series this year, you got some significant facial hair. I mean, you got some serious spirit action going.
That's his 5 o'clock shadow right now, isn't it?
No, we're talking about Kyle, but you look around, Eddie, the guys on the field, they all look like they're 35, 40-year-old guys.
Outstanding.
Shaved once every 2 weeks. That was pushing.
Do the kids at the high school, though, think it was cool?
Who, my goatee?
Yeah.
I think pretty much everybody thought it was cool, but except our coach, and that's the only one that knows.
I'm just trying to imagine high school senior KP roaming the halls of Omaha. What was the high school?
Creighton Preparatory High School.
It's Creighton Prep.
A 15-minute drive from here.
What a life.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he had him leading. Oh, he got his hand back in.
See where he caught the ball? Allen reached out in front. First baseman, you're supposed to let it travel as much as you can. Let the ball travel. He went out, got it, and then reached over. You can clear your legs. That way the ball can travel a little bit more. Try to pound them there in the hand. And now with replay, you really don't even have to go towards the bag. Just go after the body. And have replay then help you out.
Way outside of Ty Duvall. Jared Liebelt was up throwing in that Mississippi State pen. Big inning for Keegan James after they've
what a lead.
Cut it to 6-3. Not going. He blew him away. 91 miles an hour. Duvall strikes out. Tonight on ESPN, another College World Series Major League Baseball doubleheader. It starts an hour after this one, Texas Tech and Florida State. And then at 10, we go back to LA, game 3 of the Giants-Dodgers series, the CWS Major League Baseball doubleheader on ESPN and the ESPN app. Julian Infante steps in. He has struck out his last 2 times up. In fact, he struck out twice in the 5th inning. The big inning for Vanderbilt when they scored 5 runs. Squares at the knee, strike 1.
Infante so far, when he's been behind the count 0-1, they've predominantly gone off speed with him. Ray, 20 out of 23 stolen bases. He gets a good jump. I say go.
Didn't slide or misses.
So I don't here. And it's just because I want to make sure Martin hits.
He'll hit next inning. I want him to hit now.
I know he will. I want him to face this guy, who's James has now been out there for a few innings. I don't know. I'd like him to hit this.
You don't go wrong if you lead off because Boudet is behind him.
You don't.
High on base percentage.
I just wanted to disagree with you about something.
I know you do.
Keep it going. Kind of like it. 1-2.
But with a high, Infante does not do well with sliders. You know he's going to get some. You have a high success rate guy at first base. Give him the green light. Let him get that jump. Now 1-2 right here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go fastball up to try to get the chase and maybe also the strike him out, throw him out.
Bottom third of the order has not produced anything for Vanderbilt today. Although Ray has been on twice with a walk, he struck out twice. 7, 8, 9 hitless. He's going.
Picked the right one. You know what? I think you're right, Eddie.
Once in a while.
I think you're right.
That's all right. But it's a high rate guy at first base. You know you're going to get a lot of sliders with Infante. See how he drops that bat head? Does it on almost every pitch. My goodness, if he could just bring his hands down a bit, it would change his bat path so much. He's choked up right now with 2 strikes. Watch where he starts his hands and watch when he goes back where the hands end up, down low. Start him low. He's going to get a chance. Got drafted in pro ball. They're going to lower them.
Well, Vandy's best chance now with a runner on second. Austin Martin coming to the plate. And a really important batter for Keegan James to focus on and keep this a 3-run deficit. They've done a lot of work with Austin Martin, who's the first guy to hit 400 for a season since Warren Jones did it in 2004 at Vanderbilt. Fouls that off. There was a time early on freshman year Austin Martin wasn't paying as much attention in the classroom as Tim Corbin and the staff liked. Brought him into his office and said, look, we could find a junior college, we could do whatever you want, but what we're doing now isn't working. And that kind of lit a little fire under Austin Martin, and since then he's been locked in the classroom and certainly on the baseball field. He's got all sorts of potential as a baseball player.
You will hear his name called very early next year in the draft. And I'm not sure where he's going to play, whether it's third base or the outfield. He's going to play hitter, though, and he plays hitter pretty well.
Westberg for the out. They do not score. And here comes Mississippi State one more time. 7, 8, 9 to face Brown.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Welcome back, everyone. The Red Raiders are now in the building. Texas Tech in here. Tim Tadlock once again as the Red Raiders in a College World Series. Lost their first game, and now they take on a Florida State team that lost one as well. So these teams playing an elimination game. 7 o'clock Eastern Time, or 1 hour after we are through here on ESPN. Just imagine what the conversation is on that bench for Mississippi State. They took a 6 0 disadvantage. Now it's 6-3. They've come from behind 28 times this season. They haven't done it against this guy, Tyler Brown, who has been the best closer, you could argue, in the country at times, but certainly has been Vanderbilt's guy. He's been outstanding. He has not given up a run in 24 of his 28 appearances.
You see that one very much. A changeup there. Usually fastball slider. That time turns a changeup over, gets ahead of Rowdy Jordan 1-2.
Wow, that's impressive. 93. He's frozen the last two guys he has seen, and Skelton and now Jordan.
You go up there thinking fastball slider, then he throws you a changeup, and this one plays up even more. For Brown, the combination of power and control is rare for the closer at this level. That's what makes him so good. It's mid-90s. It's a wipeout slider, a changeup there. He's now struck out the only two he's faced.
Landon Jordan is going to pinch hit now.
How good is it as a head coach knowing that you have that in the back end? Control, only 8 walks in the season.
All ACC relief pitcher this season. That one up in out of the zone. 6 nationally in saves, 14 to lead the conference. That's a good one. Dim Corbin went to recruit Tyler Brown. He tore his UCL. That one just missed. He said he couldn't feel his arm. It kind of turned purple on him. He underwent Tommy John surgery, and a lot of the college coaches that were after him bowed out. Corbin was more impressed with the backstory on him, which is a tragic one. His mom had cancer when he was very young. And as Tim said, he was tough enough to get through all that. He was worth taking a chance on. That one is hit hard in the left field, and a good 2-strike approach for the pinch hitter, Jordan. Let's go down to KB.
Hey, well, I tried to interview Jake Mangum's dad, John, but apparently he's very superstitious, and we're bad luck for him. Whenever he does an interview with us live on air, he says his team starts playing poorly, so I'm just going to awkwardly talk while he stands right behind me. He did say the reason that he likes being out in center field, all the other dads are out here. He also can see right into the zone, so he knows if his boy is getting squeezed or not at the plate.
Those boys on deck. Thanks, Chris. Great interview.
Nailed that one.
Marshall Gilbert homered his last time up. Throw to first is not in time. First pitch that Gilbert saw from Patrick Raby found the bullpen in left field. On the ground, could get 2. Hall, Ray, double play. Another good job by Brown, as he now is 3 outs away from closing this one. 2-3-4 for the Commodores when we come back. That's the sound of SportsCenter, 1 a.m. with Neil Everett, Linda Cohn, Elko in the house. Their mic'd up sound from the top NBA draft prospects. LeBron and AD are picture perfect. And Hollywood's hottest with Mike Trout and Cody Bellinger. SportsCenter after Major League Baseball, ESPN, the ESPN app. Dodgers and Giants follow our Florida State Texas Tech game. Jose Altuve trying to get back for the Houston Astros.
He's off the disabled list, the inactive list, injured list. Yeah.
Blade has reached in 7 of the 8 plate appearances at the College World Series. This is another Dustin Ackley. Remember Dustin Ackley for North Carolina? Like, you couldn't get him out. There's got a Dustin Ackley feel to Blade at the College World Series this year. Like, you can't get him out.
It's pretty clear they don't want to throw it on the inner half of the plate because everything is either outer third or on the outside black or 6 to 8 inches off.
2-1 and right into a shift, which he's going to have to get used to at the next level. That has driven left-handed hitters crazy for years. At the major league level, it looked like a hit off the bat, and lo and behold, there's Justin Foskin. And thus the launch angle conversation. You try to hit it over that.
One way of beating it consistently.
Keegan James, 3 innings of scoreless relief. He has kept this team very much in it. Mississippi State, you don't want to ever say they have them right where they want them when they're down, but they got the leadoff hitter, Jake Mangum, kicking things off in the bottom of the 9th. Look out. Hold that one.
They do, but they're going to have to do it against one of the best closers in the country. Tyler Brown's looked very good since coming in. He's faced the minimum of the 4 outs that he's got.
And they got a little help in that Auburn game.
I get everything you guys are saying, but we just witnessed last couple days ago Mississippi State come back from 3 down, score 4 in the top of the order, and their leader is going to be the man leading off that next inning.
I just kind of said that.
You know.
Like I think like probably within the last minute.
No, minute and a half. I'm just thinking about it because it's just like it's written for Mississippi State. What? Down 3 again. Can they do it?
No, you're doing a good job.
There.
You're selling it. And they fall on the shoulders of Mcnamee. Nope, ball 4, and that's a walk.
I'll check my mic.
Catcher Philip Clark, single and a walk. Game started by Payton Plumlee and Kumar Rocker. Closer on for Vanderbilt, and Keegan James has been terrific. And maybe tiring. That one gets back and through Dustin Skelton. Jared Liebelt and the aforementioned Eric Seront, the right-hander, warming right now for Mississippi State. Game 8 of this College World Series. Rocker started, gave up just 1 run. It ended his scoreless inning streaks at 19 2/3 after that no-hitter in the Supers against Duke. Here's the guy that's trying to close this thing out. 2 home runs for Steven Scott, number 6 hitter in the Vanderbilt lineup. Clark rolls one over to first. In between hops played by Tanner Allen. There are 2 men down. Louisville already won their game today. It was the suspended game from yesterday. So Auburn and Coach Thompson done for the season.
Louisville gets the loser of this one. Michigan, the team to their immediate right, a winner. They're 2-0. We're fired up on the Cardinal right there. Now Dimarco, if he can get on, you get Scott with another chance. Mike Martin Jr. somewhere there in the haze in the background. There you go. Florida State, Texas Tech, 1 hour after we are through here in Omaha. That one got him, and then we are going to get Scott up here. Hit by pitch, and it looks like James is tiring.
Nice shot, buddy.
Chris Lamonis may see the same thing. He's taken at least a step up in that dugout. They going to change here, Kyle, or no?
I'll tell you in a second.
You can tell me now.
Yep, they're going to.
James looking down at his hand, maybe a blister or something developing. Is it Cerantola coming in, the righty?
Looks like it.
Looks that way. He'll have to deal with Steven Scott. Last time Steven Scott saw a relief pitcher, he went deep. See if that happens again. 2 men on in a 6-3 game in the ninth. Welcome back through the years with Mike Martin, who originally wanted to be a basketball coach in high school, was convinced to join the baseball team. And after over 2,000 wins and 40 years, he is shutting it down. This is the final season for Mike Martin, and we'll see if this is the final game for the Florida State legend. No other coach in the NCAA has had more wins than him. 40 straight, 40 wins, 40 straight tournament appearances. 17th time he's been to the College World Series, and most people who aren't rooting for another team here would be rooting for him. He's got no College World Series titles. Right out of Oakville, Ontario, this guy can just bring it. 6'5", 195, Eric Cerantola.
It's an interesting story. He hasn't pitched much this year, just 14 in the third innings. 20 strikeouts, 11 walks. We're in Hoover a few weeks ago at the SEC tournament. I hadn't seen him, and really I hadn't even heard of him. They roll in this kid named Eric Cerantola, and the first pitch is 98 at the knees. And the next one is a hammer-breaking ball. And you're like, who in the world is this guy? He's already been drafted in 2 different sports, the Ontario Hockey League back in 2016 and 30th round of the Rays last year. It's a mid-90s fastball and a real breaking ball. It's just raw right now. But if he can put it all together, this is a weekend starter.
2 home runs for Steven Scott. 4 RBI. First pitch, 2-seamer runs away from him, 1-0. Really big here. A big spot. You're at the College World Series. Cerantola's on the mound. He hasn't pitched a lot. He's got to try to prevent any runs from coming in. Get his team back up in the bottom of the ninth, trailing by only 3. But Scott's been the hottest hitter for Vandy today. That got a piece of the plate at 96 miles an hour. The advantage he has, to Kyle's point, there's not a lot of book on him.
Count evens up at 2. Do not be surprised if Vanderbilt tries to steal a run here.
I think that's Skelton who's saying, yeah, he did. I think Skelton's trying to sell it. Do you?
Yeah.
Popped up. This one might. No, it's going to get into the seats. That backspin to come back.
Oh, it got him. trying to get away from the ball, and he ran right into that one. Oh, don't rub it. Oh, got him right in the middle of the back. Watch this. Run away, get away.
Look out. Incoming. Oh.
That'll leave a mark.
That's great. Got him. Big out for Seront. 97 miles an hour. May have earned himself another opportunity here in Omaha. Here come the Dogs, bottom 9. Back goes the right fielder, Weiss. He can't get it. It's over his head. Scoring is Stovall, and Mississippi State walks it off. Here comes Mississippi State. 27 times they've come from behind. Off the glove. Mississippi State has rallied and shocked Auburn. Trailed at 4-1. Bulldogs all excited about the possibilities here. They came back and beat Auburn. They did it last year. 9 of the 14 wins in the last 2 tournaments come from behind. They got the mayor up, Jake Mangum. He's having a very good game. He's got 2 hits. He reached on an error. Got to believe if they're doing anything, he is going to get on. Jake thought it was a little down. Dad probably was going to agree with him. On the ground to second. Fielded cleanly. And a good play over there by Harrison Ray as Mangum can fly.
We're seeing so many of our infielders. So we're growing up. Every infield coach, get in front of the ball, get in front of the ball, get in front of the ball. But we're seeing so many infielders do this, and it just allows you that much more time to make the decision. For Harrison Ray, gives ground a little bit on that glove side. You know you've got plenty of time to throw Mangum out.
And get the right bounce.
Absolutely. It gives you more time to react.
No doubt.
Jordan Spurg. Rain out for these 2 affected your ability to have a couple of days off now. The winner will return on Friday. Obviously, the game played last night. You would have had Wednesday, Thursday, and then back on Friday. Loser right back at it against Louisville tomorrow. That's foul. .95 and down in the zone. This one is playable in left. 1 out away from going 2-0 is Vanderbilt as Scott catches it. Westberg retired. Tanner Allen, last chance. Breaking ball, strike 1. 0-2. Tyler Brown has looked awfully comfortable on this mound here at TD Ameritrade. Infante calls it. Game over. Vanderbilt a winner. They go to 2-0 and are now 1 win away from a College World Series Finals.
Pretty impressive. Kumar Rocker, a week off of 130 pitches, goes out and puts Vanderbilt in the spot to go 2-0.
Steven Scott goes deep twice. For Chris Budden down on the field, Kyle Peterson, Eduardo Perez, I'm Carl Ravitch here. Once again, our final score, Vanderbilt 6, Mississippi State 3. Stay tuned. We'll be back in another minute or two from Omaha. But first, we send it back to Bristol and SportsCenter.